right, we are on record today following the filing of a petition requesting removal yesterday, but not necessarily requesting removal ex parte. So there was no ex parte removal granted, and we've made some time this morning for the parents that have appeared to speak with each of their attorneys. The guardian ad litem has had a chance to talk with a few of the children. So we've made some progress, and I'm looking forward to any developments on the record as a result of that. Let's go through appearances first, please.
Carson Howard, lawyer, guardian ad litem.
Ms. Taja Thomas, counsel for the department.
Rachel Wazik, CPS investigator for the department.
Let's just stand there.
Katerina Dumont, attorney for respondent father Anthony Barrillo, but I don't believe he's here.
Okay, we have maintained vigilance to see if he's appeared in person or by Zoom, and I have not seen him nor has Mr. Mott.
Michael McFarland representing Ms. Witten, who has not joined us on Zoom, told she has been served.
Same goes as it relates to your client. Ms. Stang?
Alexis Stang, appearing on behalf of the respondent father, Christopher Carter. And then Christopher, can you just unmute and say your name?
Christopher Carter.
Good morning, Your Honor. Ariel Berger here on behalf of Father Mark Kamen. Mark, can you introduce yourself, please?
Mark Kamen.
Okay, Ms. Stang and Ms. Berger, you've had a chance to talk with your clients, is that right?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Very good. Okay. Well, before we do that, Ms. Thomas, would you address process service for us so we can establish whether or not each of the parents concerned in this case, there are 4 total, have been notified?
Yes, Your Honor, if Ms. Wazik can be sworn in.
Ms. Wazik, why don't you come out to our witness? Thank you. If you could explore also, while you're at it, the search for other cases and Native American heritage as it was completed as well, I would appreciate it, Ms. Thomas.
Thank you. Ms. Wazik, can you please state how you are familiar with this matter?
Yes, I am the CPS investigator at DHHS, and I was assigned this case to investigate.
And did you draft the petition that's before the court today?
I did.
Okay. And as it relates to service for the parents that did not show today, well, first let me ask, did you file a proof of service with the court regarding serving this petition and notice of hearing?
Yes, last night around 6 p.m.
Okay.
I did.
And how did you, let me see here. What ways did you serve Mr. Barrillo?
I spoke with him to let him know what was going on, and he provided me, well, during that conversation, he said he was uninterested in participating at all. That he thought that he had relinquished his rights back during their previous foster care case. I told him that he had not, so that he would need to be served. He provided me an email. We clarified the email multiple times that I had the right one. I provided an email to him yesterday around 3 when I received the notice of hearing. I did ask Outlook to show me it was delivered. It did say it was delivered successfully. I then texted his phone number, which is an iPhone. It showed delivered. I explained that I emailed him at that email the information we previously discussed. I told him there was a Zoom ID. I told him it was at 8:30 a.m. and to please let me know he had received it. He did not respond to me. So at 5 p.m. I called him. He forwarded my call after 2 calls. And then at 8 a.m. this morning, I called him again and he forwarded me again to voicemail. Both times I left a voicemail stating what I needed, and he did not respond.
And then as it relates to Ms. Witten, can you just briefly summarize the contacts that you've had with her and whether you were able to achieve personal service and whether you have any indication if she will show today?
I saw her at her hotel room at Carlson Lodge yesterday, right after I received the notice of hearing. I provided that to her in person. She looked over it. I told her to ask me any questions. She could text me if she had questions as well. She said that she would be there via Zoom because she had the 2 kids in her care, did not have anybody to watch them. And then this morning, I tried calling her 3 times and her phone goes straight to voicemail every time. So I am under the impression she will not show.
As it relates to the other cases that involve or that these I'm so sorry. Morning brain. As it relates to other court cases involving members of this family, what efforts were made to identify those?
Okay, so are you talking about the previous foster care case or their FOC cases?
Both.
Okay, so previously Rebecca did have her children removed from her care in 2021, I believe May of 2021. They were returned to her April of 2023 with supervision from foster care still. And then officially the case closed in July of 2023. There are also a number of front of the court cases, so bear with me, but there is a front of the court case between Rebecca and Donald Atkins, and they have a child together who is Adeline. Sorry.
Ms. Bostic, we're on YouTube. So
Yes.
we can just, if you've just confirmed that, let me ask this question. Are all the children born to Miss Witten subject to other custody orders?
Yes, except for the two youngest. There is not an active FOC at this time that I'm aware of. I think they were in the process, but I don't know that it's been filed.
Okay. And those are the two children whose father is Mr. Kamen?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And then for Native American heritage, your petition indicates that you spoke with the parents and they've all denied it. Did you also have an opportunity to review my SACWIS and determine whether those inquiries have been done in the past?
No.
Okay. Know that you did not review my SACWIS, or you did review and there were no inquiries?
Sorry, I reviewed my SACWIS, but I did not see if there had been inquiries in the past other than my conversations with them.
Okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay. Your Honor, as it relates to those preliminary matters, I have no further questions for Ms. Bostic.
Thank you. The record should reflect, I do have a copy of the proof of service indicating that Mark Kamen was served by email at 3:08 yesterday. Anthony Barillo was served by email at 3:20. Rebecca Whitten was personally served at the Carlton Lodge at 4 p.m. and Christopher Carter was personally served at 5:08 p.m. Yesterday. Is all that accurate and complete, Ms. Wozniak?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Do any of the attorneys wish to have a copy of this immediately?
No.
No, Your Honor.
Your Honor.
No.
Would you be able to secure copies of the orders establishing parentage for the children that are concerned by this jurisdiction, please?
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. And of course, we'll be vigilantly looking for those Native American heritage inquiries.
Yes.
Very good. All right. Questions on these preliminary issues, Mr. McFarland?
Did I hear you did not ask the question of my client whether there's Native American heritage? Is that what I'm hearing?
No, they've all been asked. I just didn't look in the history to see if they've been asked previously.
Did you ask?
Yes.
What did you ask specifically of my client?
If they have any Native American heritage or are part of the tribe.
Did you ask them if they have any Native American heritage, any blood in their family line?
Not specifically blood, no.
Isn't that the test rather than whether they are a tribal member? It's up to the tribe to determine, right? Let me withdraw that. Will you ask my client if there's any Indian blood in her family line?
Yes. Yes.
And you'll also ask the fathers the same?
Yes.
Nothing further.
Okay. Ms. Dumont?
No questions.
Let's go to our attorneys online. Ms. Stang, any questions?
No, thank you.
Ms. Berger?
Not at this time, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Howard?
No, Your Honor.
I do have one I forgot to ask. There are two children staying with my client in the hotel. What's your intention with those two children?
If we are granted removal, which is what we asked for, then they would go to their previous foster placement, which both parents have been discussed that with them and they have a relationship with her.
Is that local?
It's in Monroe.
And how would arrangements be made for my client to visit?
The foster care worker would develop an entire case plan regarding that. And then I believe that they are the ones that maintain visitation and work that out.
Understood. Nothing further.
Okay, thank you for your testimony. You may return to your seat. All right. Let's see. Let's go to Ms. Berger first. Ms. Berger, were you able to talk with your client about those questions? And do you have anything else that needs to be heard on the issue of potential Native American heritage, legal parentage, or process of service indicating that your client has the petition?
I did confirm all of those things with him, Your Honor. I believe there are numbers 9 through 11 in the petition. And he does agree that he does not have Native American heritage. He does have a copy of the petition that was sent to him virtually. And he is legal father of the youngest two, the twins.
Thank you. He is obviously entitled to have the entire petition read onto the record. Do you know if he wishes to have that right exercised or if he wishes to waive that?
I did not ask that, Your Honor, but I can ask that right now.
All right. How does he wish to proceed with regard to today's hearing?
Your Honor, we would be entering a plea of no contest on the petition. In addition, I believe the agency has agreed to in-home jurisdiction with my client's children. In addition, he is agreeing that if he were to vacate the home, that he would leave his children there with his father.
All right, very well. We'll let you ask him about the petition in a few minutes.
Thank you.
I'm going to go to Ms. Stang next. Anything to add on parentage, Native American heritage, or other cases?
No, other than that I did talk to my client, and he did have his parentage established. There was a case in Monroe County previously. He actually does have an active court order for parenting time, from what I understand, but that has not been being utilized due to the fact that the respondent mother has not allowed him to have that parenting time. And in addition, he's been in and out of incarceration. So that obviously is added to that. But my client does intend to take a plea of no contest and hopefully enter a case service plan so that he can start getting services and with his children again.
And I'm sorry, that cut out. And be what?
And get a case service plan so that he can start exercising parenting time and start benefiting from that case service plan.
Thank you. Do you, what would be the basis for the no contest plea?
There is criminality that is listed, so just to prevent future liability.
Future liability? It's just cutting out every once in a while, so I'm just making sure I understand what you're saying.
Yes, future potential civil liability.
All right, which paragraphs, just 7 and 8?
His paragraphs start at 34.
Okay.
So it would be from 37 down that the criminality existed.
Okay. Do you know, have you spoken to him about whether or not he wishes to have the petition read onto the record?
I have not, but I know that he has already had a chance to review it, so I believe that he wishes for it to be read on the record. I believe he would waive that right.
Looks like we've had another cell phone join us, so I'm just going to check in with that person to make sure that's not one of our missing parents.
That should be Rebecca.
Thank you, Mr. Kamen. Good morning, this is Judge Sala, who's joining us from the Motorola Moto G Play 2024. If you could unmute and introduce yourself, please.
Hello, this is Rebecca Witten, mother of the children.
Thank you. Good morning, Ms. Witten. We have an attorney here for you, Mr. Michael McFarland. Would you like a chance to talk with him about today's proceedings?
Yes, please.
Okay, Mr. McFarland, if I could ask you to step out.
Yes, I will. If I may cut through and go back to the jury room. Sure.
I'll set you up for the breakout room. All right, very good. In the meantime, Deputy Anderson, would you please swear in Mr. Christopher Carter and Mr. Mark Kamen? Your voice, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Gentlemen, please raise your right hands. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Carter, let's start with you. Your attorney has advised that you do have a copy of the petition. Is that accurate?
Yes, that is accurate.
Very good. And that you wish to enter a plea, a no contest plea today, understanding that that would be no contest based on criminal allegations. Is that what you wish to do?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. You have the right to have me read each and every one of these paragraphs onto the record today. Would you like to exercise that right, or do you want to waive it?
I'd like to waive that right.
All right. And you believe you are the legal parent in this case of Lyric and Lila? I'm sorry, L and L Witten?
Yes, correct.
Thank you. All right. Okay, Mr. Kamen, we're going to go to you next. One moment. We've got Mr. McFarland joining us, and so I'm going to put him into the room with his clients. Very good. Okay, Mr. Kamen, you believe you are the legal parent of K and P Witten?
It's K and P Kameen, and yes.
Okay, do you, well, what we've got listed on the petition is unfortunately not that. So if you've got copies of their birth certificates, or if we need to track those down, we can certainly do that. I would obviously want to have them known by their appropriate legal names for purposes of our petition. So if I can ask you to make sure that you chase that down or talk with your attorney about that, that would be great, so that we can make sure we have that correct in the future. Are you willing to do that?
Yes, absolutely. They have my last name.
Your Honor, Your Honor, for clarification, their last name is listed as Mr. Kameen's in both JCO4B and in the addendum.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. All right. And is it Kamen?
It's Kameen.
Kameen, thank you. All right. All right, so my understanding is that you would also like to enter a plea, which means that you would be admitting to the allegations in the petition. Is that correct?
I was told I was pleading no contest.
Right. So what that means is you don't have to come out and effectively say that, but that I would essentially take the allegations in the petition as accurate in their entirety. Do you understand that?
Yes, the petition is not accurate.
If we want to, Your Honor, we can go through, there are several things that we can admit and deny, but I have advised my client that we probably shouldn't admit some of the things because they do indicate criminality.
Right. I mean, I'm happy to allow you to talk further with him about what his options are for purposes of a no contest. Obviously, not every paragraph in here applies to him, but as it relates to his responsibilities, I generally don't differentiate between no contest on particular allegations, just to try to avoid confusion for the record and for future purposes. Is there a reason, or is that what you're asking me to do? Are you asking me to deviate from that practice, or what is your position?
I can talk with him really quick and then we can reconvene.
All right. I appreciate that. And I do have a breakout room available for you, so I'll give you a chance to do that briefly. All right. So assuming these two gentlemen do end up entering pleas, let's go to you, Mr. Howitt. Would you find that that would serve the best interest of the children concerned by those pleas?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very good. And I understand you have had a chance to talk with some of the children?
Just the oldest child.
Okay. Very good. So Mr. Carter, we can proceed as it relates to the plea for your client right now, Ms. Dang, or we can wait for the other parents to get back and do the advice of rights for both at the same time. Do you have a preference?
Whatever the court prefers is fine with us.
What is your position on the request for removal of the children concerned by the petition and your client?
Yes, with regards to the removal, the kids obviously are right now in the care of the respondent mother, and I know that my client is in favor and actually prefers that the children be removed from the respondent mother's care due to his concerns.
All right. When's the last time your client saw his children?
He saw them once right before Christmas of last year, so 2024. But prior to that, it has been really 2 years.
Very good. So generally speaking, he would be offered pretty regular visitation as organized, preferably during a family team meeting following today's hearing. Is that acceptable as it relates to parenting time, if you know?
Yes, that is actually what he is hoping for, since he has not been able to see them regularly.
Ms. Thomas, is that a satisfactory position as far as the department is concerned?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Howard?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very well. Well, let's go ahead and begin the advice of rights then for Mr. Carter. Oh, here comes Ms. Berger. Okay, Ms. Berger, I can ask your client to rejoin us.
Yes, and we are wanting to proceed just on the no contest plea, Your Honor. I've explained that a little bit better to him as well.
Thank you. Okay, welcome back, Mr. Kameen. Did I get it right that time?
Yep.
Okay, so Ms. Berger informed us just before you rejoined us that you are prepared to enter the no contest plea at this point. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so as I stated before, essentially that means that I'm going to accept the allegations in the petition, but for purposes of developing your case services plan, clearly that's going to be something that you have a part in doing. So I'll just say that as well. I'm going to ask you to at least help identify some of the issues that you feel that you need support in as part of today's proceedings, regardless of what is in the petition. Does that help?
Yes.
All right, so Mr. Carter and Mr. Kameen, I'm going to go through your advice of rights at this point. Did I ask both of you if you wanted the petition read out of the record?
Yes.
You didn't ask me, but I don't. I'll waive that right.
Mr. Carter, did you wish to waive that as well?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, gentlemen, for confirming that. If I accept your no contest pleas, you are giving up a trial by judge or a trial by jury, the right to have the petitioner prove the allegations in the petition by a preponderance of the evidence, the right to have witnesses against you appear and testify under oath at trial, the right to cross-examine witnesses, and the right to have the court subpoena any witnesses that you believe could give testimony in your favor. Do you understand you'll be giving up or waiving the rights I've just indicated to you if you agree to enter a no contest plea today? Mr. Kameen?
Yes.
Mr. Carter?
Yes.
With regard to the consequences of your plea, or in other words, what will happen, the court will do the following. There will be continued investigation by the caseworker to see what the problems are in your family and how and whether they can be solved. The court could dismiss the case if there's no need for the court to be involved. If it appears that there's a problem that may be solved, the court can make the children temporary wards of the court, place them with mother or father or with relatives or in a foster home, and order programs for you and your children, such as counseling, drug and alcohol treatment, assessments, and parenting classes. If it appears you will not be able to provide a proper home for the children in the reasonably foreseeable future, the court could terminate your parental rights. In regard to the plea itself, the plea can also later be used as evidence in a proceeding to terminate your parental rights. Do you understand the consequences of your plea, Mr. Kameen?
Yes.
Mr. Carter?
Yes, I do.
All right, Mr. Kameen, I'm going to back up just a little bit. I already went through some of these questions with Mr. Carter, but what is your position, or if you want to defer to your attorney on this, your position as it relates to removal of the children that are your responsibility? What, in other words, what do you want to see happen with them today?
I would like my children to stay with me along with Cadence. I just got her in school, and obviously I have drug treatment, mental health. I have an appointment today at 4:00. I mean, I would prefer them to stay in the home with me and my father.
All right, the position of the department, Ms. Thomas.
And I spoke with Ms. Berger on this, and we are agreeable for the in-home jurisdiction. We understand that Mr. Kameen is currently residing with his father. We believe that in-home jurisdiction, with him starting those voluntary services already, with his father present, it would adequately safeguard the children. But we would ask the court to order that if he were to leave the home, that the children would stay there. And so we are in agreement with that.
Mr. Kameen,
Yes.
do you agree with that statement as well?
Yes, I do.
All right, Mr. Howard, do you find that that would serve the best interest of all three children concerned by that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very well. I just wanted to make sure I understood and you understood and we all had it straight what was going to be happening as far as your position. All right, very good. As far as the plea goes, do you have any questions about any of the information that we've talked about so far, Mr. Kameen?
No.
Mr. Carter?
No, I do not.
All right. Okay, are either of you currently under the influence of drugs, alcohol, or anything else that could get in the way of you understanding what you're doing here this morning, Mr. Kameen?
No.
Mr. Carter?
No.
Is anyone making you enter a no contest plea, Mr. Kameen?
No.
Mr. Carter?
No.
Has anyone threatened you in order to get you to enter a no contest plea, Mr. Kameen?
No.
Mr. Carter?
No.
Outside the terms of the plea agreement, which is essentially what we've talked through this morning as it relates to where the children will be and how you're entering the plea, has anyone made any other promises to you or anything to get you to enter the plea?
No.
No.
Thank you, gentlemen. Would you say your decision to enter a no contest plea is one you've made of your own free will, Mr. Kameen?
Yes.
Mr. Carter?
Yes.
All right, very good. As it relates to the no contest plea, the factual basis of that plea, Ms. Thomas, how would you like to approach that?
Your Honor, if the attorneys are agreeable to stipulating to the petition as a factual basis, I would like to proceed that way. However, if we need to take testimony from Ms. Vozick, I can also question her on it.
Your preference, Ms. Berger?
I'll stipulate.
Ms. Dang? I'm sorry.
We stipulate as well.
Mr. Howard, do you find that to be an acceptable way to establish the factual basis?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, very well.
I have no objection, Your Honor. We'll be asking the same in my case. What's that?
What will you be asking?
For no contest and acceptance of the petition as evidence.
Okay, all right. Let me just get back to you on that in a few minutes. Okay, Ms. Dumont, any objection? No. Very good. All right. Just for purposes of looking forward on the case services plan, which is the challenges that the court will be asking, both of you and the department will be asking, and you'll be asking of yourselves in order to create a good, safe environment for your children. Mr. Kameen, you've already kind of talked a little bit about what areas you'd like to focus on. It looks like areas of substance abuse, drug use, maybe some relationship dynamics and some mental health treatment. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Carter, it seems like you have some challenges around stable housing, transportation, income, the bond with your children, and reliable parenting. Is that about right?
Yes.
All right. Well, I am taking notice of the petition and we'll evaluate that as well as we look forward to the case services plan. But I appreciate both of you letting me know that you're on board to work on those issues. Are the attorneys satisfied with the factual basis of the plea and the advice of rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. The court is as well. There's also been a preliminary statement on the position for the request for removal today, which is that Mr. Carter is in support of removal of the children from Ms. Witten, and Mr. Kameen wishes to allow 3 of the children to remain with him and his father, Mr. McFarland, by way of update.
Thank you.
And that seems uncontested by the other attorneys. Does your client have a position other than that?
On the 2 children that are with her, she does not wish to have removal. I have not addressed the other, but I intend to do that on the record.
All right. Well, so the 3 children that are currently with Mr. Kameen, does she have any objection to them remaining there?
I did not ask her that, Your Honor. I can ask her on the record.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll get to that in a moment. All right. So, gentlemen, the next steps for you will be the initial disposition. So between now and when you come back to court, You'll be sitting down with the department representative or foster care caseworker and putting together the case services plan to target those areas that you need to work on. And that will create the opportunity for the court to review that on a regular basis. Now, obviously, you've heard us talk about what's going to be happening with the children moving forward. So that piece is not yet resolved today, so you're welcome to stay for that. But as it relates to the legal proceedings at this time, you're effectively finished with your active part of today's hearing. So I just wanted to let you know that. Unless there's anything else from you, Ms. Berger or Ms. Stang.
Will we be getting notice of that initial disposition date?
Yes, let me give you a date right now. How about Friday, February 28th at 10 a.m.? Does that work?
Your Honor, actually, yes, that works, 10 a.m.
10 a.m. I have 10 or 11. 10, 10:30, 11, whatever works for you.
Any of those work.
Okay, Ms. Berger, does 10 a.m. work for you on the 28th?
It does, Your Honor.
All right. Very good. And obviously, if there's anything else that you want to weigh in on as we go along, I'll trust you to let me know as it relates to the request for removal and the placement of the children. Fair?
Yes, thank you.
Very good. Okay, Mr. McFarland.
I did go over my client's rights with her. She indicates, number one, that she does have dyslexia. She read most of the report before she fell asleep last night. I did go over the highlights with her.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but report or petition?
I'm sorry, the petition, Your
I
Honor.
just wanted to be clear for that.
Yes, the petition. At this point in time, she wishes to enter a no contest plea based upon possible criminality. There are allegations of excessive use of force against the child, positive drug screens, prostitution, all issues that could result in criminality, Your Honor. She does wish to have a removal hearing on the two children who are residing with her at Carlton Lodge, as she does have a shelter in Monroe County lined up which will accept children. So we'd like a hearing on that. She does not wish to have the entire petition read today. So that's our position right now. Indian heritage, I asked her, and there's no known Indian blood or heritage in her family lines.
Thank you. Well, I do have a 10 o'clock, so at this point, I'd like to take a brief recess so that I can tackle that and then come back on the record as it relates to your client and the removal hearing. Any objections or time constraints I need to be aware of from our other participants?
No, Your Honor. We're prepared on the 10.
Good. Okay, thank you. We'll be back with you then. And just we're back with all of our participants with the exception of Mr. Kameen, who appears to have decided he does not want to stay for the rest of the hearing on the removal request, Ms. Berger. So it's up to you whether or not you want to continue to be here. Realistically, because your client's not here, but with that exception, everybody else is back.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll stay connected. That way, if anything pertinent happens, I can relay that to my client.
That's great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to go back to Ms. Witten as it relates to her case. Deputy, would you please swear in Ms. Rebecca Witten? All right, Ms. Witten. So is it true all of the statements that your attorney placed on record as far as you have the petition, you have no reason to believe that you have any Native American heritage in your family or the children's families, for example?
Yes, it's true.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is it also true? Thank you. Is it also true that the fathers named in the petition are the legal fathers of the children as far as you know?
Yeah.
Okay. And is it true that you wish to enter a no contest plea? What that means is that I would consider the allegations against you as essentially accurate, but you wouldn't have to truly go through them one by one and admit them. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Is that what you wish to do?
Yes.
Any objection, Ms. Thomas? Well, and I should say this too first, Ms. Witten. So the piece on adjudication is separate, very separate from the piece on removal. So there's no guarantee on removal just because I may accept your plea, and I want you to understand that. Those two issues are very separate. You understand?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, your position, Ms. Thomas, on the entry of the no contest plea.
I'm agreeable to it, Your Honor.
Any objections from Ms. Stang or Ms. Berger?
No objections.
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Dumont.
No objection.
Very good. All right, Ms. Whitten, are you able to hear us and understand us okay? And is it possible for you to try to make sure that if there's any children in the vicinity that they're at least somewhat shielded from what's happening in the courtroom?
Yes.
Thank you, I appreciate that. All right. If I accept your plea, you are giving up the right to a trial by judge or trial by jury. The right to have the petitioner prove the allegations in the petition by a preponderance of the evidence. The right to have witnesses appear and testify under oath at trial. The right to cross-examine witnesses. The right to have the court subpoena any witnesses that you believe could give testimony in your favor. Do you understand you'll be giving up or waiving those rights if you enter a no contest plea?
Yes.
With regard to the consequences of your plea, or in other words, what will happen, the court will do the following. There will be continued investigation by the caseworker to see what the problems are in your family and how and whether they can be solved. The court could dismiss the case if there's no need for the court to be involved. If it appears that there is a problem that may be solved, the court can make the children temporary wards of the court, place them with mother or father or with relatives or in foster homes, and order programs for you and your children, such as counseling, drug and alcohol treatment, assessments, and parenting classes. If it appears that you will not be able to provide a proper home for the children in the reasonably foreseeable future, the court could terminate your parental rights. In regard to the plea itself, the plea can also later be used as evidence in a proceeding to terminate your parental rights. Do you understand the consequences of your plea, Ms. Whitten?
Yes.
Do you have any questions about any of the information I've given you so far?
No.
Okay. Are you under the influence of drugs, alcohol, or anything else that could get in the way of you understanding what you're doing this morning?
No.
Is anyone making you enter a no contest plea?
No.
Is anyone threatening you in order to get you to admit a no contest plea?
No.
Okay. Would you say your decision to enter a no contest plea is one you've made of your own free will?
Yes.
Very good. Mr. McFarland has asked me to simply review the allegations in the petition as the factual basis of the plea. Is that still your position, Mr. McFarland?
It is.
Any objections, Ms. Thomas?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Berger, Ms. Stang, any objections to using the petition as the basis for the plea?
No.
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Ms. Dumont? No objection.
No, Your Honor.
Very well. Okay. I will do that. Just by way of you, it looks like you need some assistance with establishing housing and employment, some assistance looking at use of substances and how that affects your parenting and all of the parenting, building of parenting skills and awareness that goes along with that in brief. Would you agree? Those would be the areas that you would want to target?
Yes.
Ms. Whit. Okay.
I didn't know you were talking to me. I'm sorry.
That's okay. All right, very well. Are the attorneys satisfied with the factual basis of the plea and the advice of rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Very good, thank you. Court is also satisfied that this plea, as well as the pleas of the other two parents that were taken this morning, are knowingly, understandably, and voluntarily made with a full understanding of the consequences. I will set the disposition for Ms. Whitten along with the other initial dispositions that have already been scheduled for February 28th at 10 a.m. So between now and then, Ms. Whitten, what happens is you'll have a meeting with representatives from the department to talk about services to help you in the areas that we've identified that you need help in. Do you have any questions about next steps?
I do. Your Honor, we were requesting a removal hearing. She's not consenting to the removal, and I didn't ask her about the other three children remaining with their father.
Yes, we're not finished with that piece yet.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay, but just as far as the disposition where we're talking about the case services plan, between now and when we come back, you can expect to have a meeting with the department, regardless of what happens with removal. Do you understand that, Ms. Whitten?
Yes.
Okay, now, as it relates to removal, I have approximately 5 minutes, or I can take a break and we can come back in another probably 15 minutes. Ms. Thomas, your preference.
Your Honor, it's my understanding that Ms. Witten will be, her stay at the Carlton Lodge is done, checkouts at 11, and she will not have a place to go. I also believe that her representation that she has a shelter that she can go to in Monroe is false and not truthful. And so we would ask the court to just consider removal current at this time to ensure that there is placement by 11 a.m.
I think we do have a right to at least briefly state our point.
Sure. How many children do you have with you right now, Ms. Witten?
I have 2 children with me, and I have somebody paying for the hotel room for a couple more days.
Okay. What are the initials of the children who are with you?
LCW and LRW. Sorry, LR. Sorry, I have so many kids. It's LCW and LCW, both the same.
Thank you. Okay, so what we're going to do is just take a few minutes. It sounds like, Ms. McFarland, do you need to talk with her about what's happening and maybe with Ms. Thomas as well?
I don't think I need to. I have chatted with her, Your Honor. So.
All right, so at this time, and I apologize for the interruptions this morning, but what's happening is that this was an emergency filing yesterday. And we already had a full docket scheduled. So I anticipate approximately another 15-minute break before we can come back on the issue of removal. And I appreciate your patience. We need to get going, I understand, but we'll be back in around 15 minutes. Ms. Stang, Ms. Thomas, and Ms. Rebecca Witten and Christopher Carter remain joined online. And of course, we have all of our in-court participants as well that have stayed. Welcome back. Okay, as it relates to the request for removal, Ms. Thomas issued what is effectively a bit of an opening argument on that point. Mr. McFarland, would you like to respond?
I think the best way is just take testimony from my client.
Very good. Any opening comments or position from you, Ms. Dumont?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Howard?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, Ms. Thomas, your first witness, if you would please. Oh, hopefully she can hear us. There she is.
Sorry about that, Your Honor.
That's okay. We're ready for your first witness on removal whenever you're ready to call her.
Thank you. Ms. Wasik, please.
Ms. Wasik, come on back up to our witness stand.
Re-sworn or?
Sure.
Re-sworn?
There you are.
Thank
Proceed
you.
at will.
Thank you. Ms. Wasik, you've stated prior that you were the investigator in this matter from CPS, is that correct?
Yes.
And that you drafted the petition?
Yes.
Okay. And in your opinion, do you believe that the children are at a substantial risk of harm in the care and custody of Ms. Witten?
Yes.
And can you please elaborate what that risk of harm is to them?
The risk part of them would be the substance use that is affecting her parenting and decisions. For example, all the children had bruising on them and mom could not say where it came from. They have not had medical care. They did not have a pediatrician that she could tell me. She was not supervising them during my visit. She was essentially nodding out, eyes fluttering, eyes rolling in the back of her head during my initial visit. She has a history where they've been previously removed for the exact same reasons. I have suspicion that there is a lack of food at times, according to the children that I interviewed, and that this has been a historical problem. The oldest child stated that this was continuously going on, essentially not ending from the first case. So that is all the risk of harm that I am seeing. Also, they've not been in school for over a month, which I know we don't really deal with, but that's a concern for me as well.
And when did you start this investigation?
January 23rd.
And since January 23rd, has, I'm just trying to check here. So it's been about 2 weeks, so exactly 2 weeks now. In the last 2 weeks, has there been any services or compliance with a voluntary case service plan or anything that Ms. Witten has done that would adequately safeguard the children in her care?
We had a safety plan that stated that she would seek mental health and substance abuse treatment from CMH, which she did make a phone call to, but then proceeded to miss all of the appointments the following week. She had agreed to not use illicit substances and to have a sober caretaker, and she broke that multiple times. So essentially, no, she has not followed anything to safeguard the children. Plus, she got into a fight at her shelter and was kicked out without a plan of where to go after that.
To the best of your knowledge, does Ms. Witten have any income?
No.
Earlier, her attorney reported that she had a place to go with the children in Monroe. Do you have any knowledge about that?
I did speak with the father who volunteers at the shelter last night when I served him, and he stated that they are not taking anybody due to COVID at the shelter. I have tried to call the shelter to clarify that today, and I have not gotten in touch with anybody. She has told me that she was going there next week, and then changed that to going there as soon as the hotel ends, and then stated that the hotel is being paid for, but none of that has been communicated to me since yesterday. So I, at this time, do not believe she has somewhere to go that I'm aware of.
When you've observed the children, do they seem cared for?
They do not appear afraid of mom. However, they appear disheveled when I am there, and they are kind of doing their own thing. Like yesterday, for example, when I went to the hotel to serve her, one of them was pulling a corn dog out of the microwave and it was hot, and mom was not paying very close attention. And the second time I visited the children, one of them had blue marker all over their foot and couldn't tell me where it came from. And so there's just some things that kind of allude to the fact that they are not being well paid attention to. So that's what I would say for that.
And in the last 2 weeks, what reasonable efforts have been made to try to prevent this request for removal?
I have drug screened mom 4 times. I have results for 3 of them. I have personally gone and visited her at Catherine Cobb multiple times. I have maintained phone contact with her. I have requested her records to see if she is following through with what I've asked her to do. I've asked her to reschedule. I've reminded her of her appointments the day before. I asked her if she had any needs. I actually talked to her on Monday and asked how things were going, and she had been kicked out at that point and did not tell me. I then found out where she was staying, showed up unannounced, and called the place that was going to extend her stay to ensure that it was paid, because it wasn't at that time. So I've been in contact with this family this whole 2 weeks consistently.
And at this time, do you think that there's any way to maintain the children safely with Ms. Witten?
Unfortunately, no, due to her history and that this has continued for so long.
In your the prior removal, I believe you stated, was from 2021 to 2023. Do you know if she was serviced with a foster care case service plan?
Yes. So actually, she had an open case in 2020 that she had 8 months of no progress in with services, which then led to that removal. And then she had a slew of services over that 18-month period as well that she did complete.
Do you know what those services were aimed at addressing? What issues?
I know that, bear with me, I know off the top of my head, she did an Orchards parenting class. I believe substance abuse was addressed. She did the Orchards family reunification program. She was being seen at CMH for case management and medication management. She had tried Catholic Charities that I know of for therapy, but was not consistent and was frequently trying to switch that. And I know even before that, she had done Families Together Building Solutions as well prior to the foster care case. So those are the ones that I know off the top of my head for sure. And obviously like drug screening and those types of things too throughout that.
And what is the proposed placement for the 2 children that are in her care?
The placement for those children would be their previous foster placement that they have a relationship with, who is familiar with them, who is very willing to work with both parents and has communication with both parents. And she's agreed and has already she's licensed and everything is appropriate there.
Do you believe that in that home, the children would be adequately safeguarded?
Yes.
There may be an argument that, you know, if you've had these concerns for the last 2 weeks during your investigation, why was there not removal prior to today? Can you help the court understand a little more about the rationale there?
Yes. So there's many fathers in this case. And so I had to spend some time to figure out the situations with those fathers. They live in multiple different counties. And I needed to find out if they were appropriate to potentially safeguard the children with them. There's one out of state even. So that took me a little bit of time. I did submit my petition to my supervisors on the 31st. And then from there, we've just had to edit, make sure everyone's been served. And I have stayed in pretty much constant communication with the family to ensure that they're not going to be homeless, that things are being taken care of. I've maintained drug screening. And so that is why it led to this being filed when it was.
And during this pendency, well, let me ask, was there concern about an unnecessary removal of children from their parents? Particularly the ones with Mr. Kameen. Was there a concern about unnecessary removal of the children from Mr. Kameen if he was in a safe environment?
Sorry, hold on. Was there concern that there was unnecessary removal from him?
Regarding why there was not an immediate request for removal from Ms. Witten, was there also concern about unnecessarily removing children from Mr. Kameen's care and putting them in foster care?
Yes.
Okay. And as it relates to the oldest child in this sibling group, currently she is staying with Mr. Kameen. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. To the best of your knowledge, does Mr. Kameen have any legal authority to act on her behalf?
Currently, he does have a power of attorney.
Okay. And when did you become aware of that?
I provided it to him when I first became involved so that he could get her in school and have proper care and custody. And that, I believe I sent that to him on the 30th through a text, and I sent it to him on the 31st scanned.
Okay. So he provided it back to you signed?
He has not signed it, but mom has signed it. It's been notarized.
Yep. Okay. So in the petition, when it said that mom permitted the child to leave with Mr. Kameen without any legal authority, when was that? What time frame?
They haven't been able to give me a specific time frame, but it was within a couple of weeks after them getting to the shelter, which was sometime after December 4th. So between December 4th and Christmas, she was at the shelter from my knowledge, and then he picked her up sometime between Christmas and now.
Okay. And as of January 30th, he does have a valid power of attorney?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Do you believe that that child would be adequately safeguarded in his care and custody, or are you still requesting the court give placement authority to the department?
If he is working a case service plan and is monitored, and we do the same stipulation of if he leaves the home, the child stays with the grandfather, I would be comfortable with that. But I also would prefer her be with the grandfather.
And if the is given placement authority, is the grandfather the person that we would essentially be placing with, just to confirm?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Is there anything else that you believe the court should know as relates to the risk of harm to the children if they were to remain in the care and custody of Ms. Witten?
Outside of what is in the petition, no.
Okay. Thank you. I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Could you just tell me about GW for a moment, because he's listed in the petition, but I haven't heard anything about him today.
So he had parenting time on weekends with mom, but it's not being exercised. And so we added him to the petition for the fact of that parenting time kind of being with her. But she's never used it. And I did ask his father to motion for parenting change, which he's done. That's kind of where we're at with him and why he got added just due to that one every other weekend parenting. It just hasn't been exercised. So
Does that child need to continue to be under the jurisdiction of the court?
no.
Thank you for your response.
Yeah.
Questions, Ms. Day?
Just one. Was the hotel contacted to verify or confirm if the hotel room has been paid for the next few days, like was asserted?
I have not had a moment to ask that. I did call the hotel room and ask them to extend her leave till 1 p.m. and they agreed to that, but I've had no confirmation that it's been paid for any further days.
Okay, thank you. I have nothing further.
Questions, Mr. McFarland?
You're asking to remove these kids from my client, yet my understanding is your agency paid for the kids to stay with her in the hotel room, am I correct?
No.
Who did pay for her overnight stay?
Catherine Cobb.
Thank you.
Yep.
Nothing further.
Questions, Mr.
No
Hunt?
questions.
Mr. Howitt?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you for your testimony. May I return your seat? Okay, any other witness testimony, Ms. Thomas?
Sorry, Your Honor, having some difficulties there managing Zoom. No, I have no further witnesses.
Mr. McFarland?
Briefly call my client.
Very well. Deputy Ames, if you could swear in. Well, actually, Ms. Whitney has been sworn, so thank you. We're all set with that.
Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. Number one, regarding the kids who are not with you in the hotel right now, are you okay with their placements as indicated in the courtroom today?
Yes.
Okay. About the kids who are with you right now, if the court were to remove them, are you satisfied with them going to the former foster placement, if that happens?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have arrangements for housing these two kids right now?
Yes. Miss Peggy, the foster care parent, is willing to pay for my hotel room. I don't know if you want me to have her join in so she could admit and say that she and her significant other are willing to help me with the hotel room or not.
How long are they willing to do that?
I'm not entirely sure. I think she'll do it as long as I need until I can get into the Oaks because they're not taking anybody because of COVID. Sorry, I dropped my phone.
Have you called them to determine when they might allow you to be there?
Yeah, I called, but she told me I have to call the intake line. So I called the intake line and I left a voicemail. I also called the Salvation Army and left a voicemail on their line. And I got a packet of information from my doctor. Hang on, baby. Hang on. 1 minute. I got information from my doctor about all kinds of shelters for Lenawee County and for all the surrounding counties, including Monroe. So I'm going to be making those phone calls today to try to find somewhere immediately.
Would you be willing to drug test today and every single day if the kids were to remain with you?
Yeah.
Okay, anything show up in your system right now?
No.
Okay. Anything else that you wish to say as far as placement of these children?
Yes, I just want to say that they don't want to go anywhere. They want to stay with their mother. I want them to stay with me. Nobody's gonna love them the way that I love them. We read books at nighttime. I want to be the one washing their hair at night. I want to be the one helping them with the corn dog thing. They like that independence. I wasn't fully paying attention to them because she was in the room and I was talking with her. And the marker saying, you know, kids are going to be kids. They're coloring 1 minute and the next minute she colored on her foot. Like I washed it off.
I think we understand how kids do that. And
And
we're all
with the
familiar.
bruises, I don't think anybody can tell exactly where each bruise came on their kids from. I took them for medical evaluations and they said it's normal pediatric bruises, which means that no physical harm has been done. I don't hit my kids. I've spanked them on their butts and I put them against the wall. Make them stand on the wall with their arms down and their nose facing the wall. That is their punishment.
Uh,
I don't slap my kids in the face. I asked my daughter if she remembers saying that, if she said that, and she said, Mom, I never said that.
Let me ask you about the former foster care worker or placement. Is that here in Adrian?
No, that's in Monroe.
Okay, well, you need some transportation assistance to get there to visit?
I might, but I might be moving to Monroe, so it might be a little bit easier.
Fair enough.
I know Miss
Nothing?
Peggy had stated that she wouldn't mind helping me with transportation when it comes to visitation with the kids.
Okay.
I
Nothing
want to
further
be the
up.
one that gives them baths at night. Like, these are my babies.
Ms. Witten, please hang on. Ms. Thomas, do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Dumont?
Ms. Witten, you indicated that you were likely going to be moving into a homeless shelter.
Yeah.
Do you know if that homeless shelter allows children to reside with you there?
Yes. Any shelter that I'm going to be going to is going to take kids. And if I can't get into a homeless shelter that takes kids, then there is inpatient rehab services that you could take kids to, like Clearview and Sacred Heart.
Okay, so you think it's of your opinion you would rather keep the children with you at either a rehab facility or a homeless shelter than agreeing to them being removed to a foster care placement?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, nothing further.
And Ms. Stein, do you have some questions?
Yes. The children were previously placed with Peggy that's been referred to, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And do you believe that they were well taken care of when they were in the care of Peggy?
Yes.
Okay. And then earlier you mentioned that Peggy said she would help with transportation for you to see the kids if you weren't in Monroe. Why would she need to help with the transportation if Peggy was also planning to pay for the hotel room for you and the kids?
That would only be if I was here. She'd be able to help me transport, like help me with the kids for giving me a ride. But if I'm in Monroe, then we can meet in a public place where I'm able to take a bus and get to.
So are you testifying then that Peggy is willing to help pay for a hotel room for you and the kids, or to help with transportation if needed?
Both.
Okay, why would you need transportation to see the kids if Peggy was paying for the kids in the hotel room for you?
Well, I wouldn't. I'm saying if they were removed. If they were removed, she would help with transportation. If
Okay.
they stay with me, I don't need transportation.
Okay, I have nothing further. Thank you.
Mr. Hope?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, any redirect?
No, and no further witnesses.
Very well. Okay, anyone else you'd like us to hear from, Ms. Stein?
No, I didn't call anybody, but I have nobody that I believe needs to be called.
Thank you. Ms. Dumont?
No witnesses.
Mr.
No,
Howard?
Your Honor.
Very well. Closing arguments, Ms. Thomas?
Thank you, Your Honor. I think that relying on the no contest plea and the fact that the petition was stipulated to for the factual basis of that no contest plea, it's very clear that there is a substantial risk of harm to the children's life, physical health, or mental well-being while in the care of Ms. Witten. Even during this 2-week period where CPS has been re-involved, Ms. Witten has not taken any necessary steps or measures to safeguard these children, leaving them unattended to get high, having other residents at Catherine Cobb try to check in on them. The lack of supervision throughout the investigation is prominent. And I want to be clear that the department's filing of this petition was in consideration at the timing of it was also in consideration of the fact that there are multiple children, and the Mr. Kameen has 3 of those children, and to do a removal, which we believed we could do without further investigation about potential relative placements, would have been a traumatic thing for these kiddos to have to go through, especially if then it was unnecessary. And so for these 2 children that have remained with Ms. Witten, Ms. Wozniak has done an amazing job of ensuring their safety by having very regular and consistent checkups with them, staying in contact with Ms. Witten and providing that oversight. However, that is not a reasonable way to continue. She is unable to, frankly, I think her credibility is already in question, to come and tell her attorney that she's going to go to a shelter and they take kids and she's going to go there right at 11. And then 10 minutes later, coming back and telling the court, oh, well, someone's going to pay for me to stay at this hotel, I think really calls into question her credibility. And I also wonder if she's not under the influence currently. I believe we all saw on YouTube that it's nearly 11 o'clock in the morning and her child was still not bathed or clothed. I think that there is just an overwhelming amount of proof that these children are really at a risk of harm in her care. I believe that the department has offered several services and they don't have another parent that they can go to. And frankly, their other parent is in support of the removal and has the same concerns about this mother's ability to care for their children. I mean, I think that speaks volumes when you have a birth parent who says, hey, we have a foster placement who can do better for our kids. And that's what's at the forefront. And Ms. Witten's reasons for wanting to keep her kids is she wants to be the one to give them baths. Okay. But we didn't hear about what's in their best interest or how she plans on taking care of them or how she's going to supervise them and how that is good for them. The focus was on her. So, Your Honor, I believe that we have met the criteria for the conditions for removal under MCR 3.965 and also as articulated in the petition. We are asking the court to give placement authority over the oldest child as her respondent father did not show and is not interested in caring for her. And she frankly also does not want to be with her mother and she would prefer to be with her siblings' family. And we are also asking the court to give placement authority to the department for the 2 children that are in her care. Thank you.
Mr. McFarland.
Well, Your Honor, as far as my client's credibility, we did have a break for another case, which would allow my client to reach out to the prior foster parent to call, to check on further places to stay, which I think a responsible parent should do and would do. I don't think that's anything against her credibility. I think that's just the opposite, that she's being proactive. I didn't see any naked kids running on here. As we all know, all the schools in Lenawee County are closed today. Imagine a lot of parents are chilling with their kids. And I think that's what we see her at a hotel doing. I don't think that's inappropriate. Of course, the court can judge, but she has a plan of action. I hear that she's agreeable with this foster parent if children are to be taken, but she's also, nobody's testified to the contrary that they've reached out to placement. The placement has told them anything opposite. She did verify that the place that kids are going to go to and mother, that there is a COVID alert. I think that she will get in when that is lifted. Those usually don't last forever, pretty short nowadays. So we're asking that the court keep the children with her in this placement. And she said she'll take a drug test immediately today and I'll test negative. I think the order could be conditioned on if she tests positive, the kids are removed. If she's saying she'll test negative, we can test her every single day. So I think there's protocol and safeguards that can be placed in effect, which are least intrusive to the family. Thank you.
Any comments, Mr. Bond?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Your position, Mr. Howard?
Yes, Your Honor, I believe there's a substantial risk of harm to the children being placed with Ms. Whitten. As for the removal, I'm very concerned with the lack of supervision being provided at Ms. Whitten's care and really her unstable plans for the next few days. I don't think it's stable to say that she's going to have a hotel paid for or find a shelter when it's been proven difficult for her, and she's already had issues in the shelter here in town with getting kicked out of there. For the three older children, I was able to speak with the oldest. She much prefers to be placed with her grandfather and with Mr. Kameen, who she, even though she's not her biological father, she looks at him like her parent, her dad. So that would be my preference for those three kids. And I believe it's in their best interest to be out of their mother's supervision. As for the three older children, I think it's important that their grandfather is the placement and the department remains in charge of the placement there. I think there are still concerns over Mr. Kameen's history, and I see he's committed to making some changes in his life with his appointment today to receive treatment for substance abuse, but I do think there are some concerns with this history. So I do ask for jurisdiction reign with the department for those three children.
Thank you. The court finds all interested parties were given notice for purposes of today's hearing, and that would include Mr. Anthony Barilaro. He was served with a petition and the notice of hearing for this morning and failed to appear. His child is currently residing with Mr. Mark Kameen and Mr. Kameen's father, along with two other siblings. I do agree with Mr. Howard and the department that placement of those three children with Mr. Kameen and his father for purposes of in-home jurisdiction is appropriate. His plea was entered today acknowledging the challenges that he needs to overcome in order to ensure that he's providing a safe, stable, drug-free environment for his children that allows him to parent in a healthy way as well. So the terms and conditions of placement with Mr. Kameen for those three children are appropriate, and they are also reflected in today's preliminary and adjudication orders entered as it relates to Mr. Kameen. There is a substantial risk of harm associated with allowing the placement of any child, frankly, with Ms. Rebecca Whitten right now. She has acknowledged significant relapse. She finds herself currently with very unstable housing. She did admit that there's food instability that was observed also by the caseworker at this time, acknowledged by the children. And that is compounded also by her inability to transport or secure medical care for any of them, failure to secure any kind of education for them, which would be a way also to provide food. Many schools issue free meals. So there are some things that even under the current circumstances, Ms. Whitten could be potentially providing despite what's been happening with her economically and with regard to housing and income. And I believe that her relapse and acknowledged use of substances is in fact significantly contributing to her inability to parent. We heard some more description of that on a firsthand basis from Ms. Wazik. And I would even say that some of the things that we've observed at this morning's court hearing would indicate some substance use interfering with her ability to parent. These two children that are in her care, LCW and LCW, will be placed back into foster care under the supervision of the department as a result of that significant risk of harm that's been established this morning as it relates to them. And they're placed with a family that has taken care of them in the past, has a relationship with the children, and apparently also open communication with Ms. Whitten at this time, which can only benefit them moving forward. So the court is taking jurisdiction of those 5 children and placing them as directed, and that will also be reflected in the court's order today. And releasing the initially named child whose initials are GW back into the care and custody of his father. as there does not appear to be a significant risk of harm associated with allowing him to be placed with his father. As to Mr. Kameen, he also acknowledged today some dynamics around his household, including criminality, prior history of that, those dynamics, drug use, inability to support the children, and some of the other things, the untreated mental health issues he's looking forward to tackling, but it's appropriate to issue in a home jurisdiction as it relates to the 3 children placed in his care for all of those reasons, understanding that his father will be there to safeguard the children. If something under those circumstances changes or he violates the court order to remain there with the children under the supervision of his father, then of course I would expect the department to revisit that and bring me a removal petition, frankly, until we've seen some progress from Mr. Kameen on those challenges. We'll have the initial disposition for Rebecca Witten, Mark Kameen, and Christopher Carter on February 28th, 2025 at 10 a.m. Mr. Carter is not currently asking for placement of his child. Her preference has been expressed, as well as wishing to stay with her siblings. And it does look like there's the need to rehabilitate his relationship with his daughter at this time. So he's got his own challenges he's facing on income and housing and some of the other aspects that were also outlined in the petition. And that does also make removal from his care as it relates to his daughter appropriate, even though she's not technically living with him at this time. She was not technically living with either immediate parent, but rather with what would be considered a relative at this time. So she'll just remain where she is under the jurisdiction and authority of the court, supervised by the department.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry to interrupt. I just want to be very clear for purposes of orders and funding. The oldest child with the initials KW,
yes,
her legal father is Anthony Barillo, who did not show today. And so the department does need a formal removal order and placement authority but we do intend to keep her placed in the current home. Mr. Carter's children are the ones with Miss Witten.
Yes, I appreciate that clarification. There are a lot of children in this case. We are clear that Mr. Barilero's child, KW, is currently staying with her siblings, her half-siblings, KK and PK, with Mr. Mark Kameen. But that is the child of Mr. Barilero. So he will be set for adjudication trial along with or immediately following the initial disposition of the first 3 parents on February 28th. So we'll set that for also 10 a.m., understanding that we'll take the initial disposition of the 3 parents before his adjudication trial on February 28th. And remove the child from his care, as well as acknowledge that the child is also removed from Ms. Witten for the reasons expressed in the petition. Mr. Christopher Carter's children are the other 2 that are currently with Ms. Rebecca Witten, and the court is authorizing removal for the reasons visited on record and in the petition as acknowledged, which create a substantial risk of harm to their care and custody. The risk associated with allowing Mr. Carter to take them is, of course, the break in their relationship, as well as the other issues named in the petition around housing, income, and his ability to support them currently. So we'll look for progress from all of the parents and initial referrals and services as they may take them up from the department on any offers for that before we come back and look at the case again February 28th, 2025 at 10 a.m. Have I addressed everything, Ms. Thomas?
I believe so, Your Honor. Thank you.
Ms. Stain?
Yes, thank you.
Should my client anticipate the agency will be there very shortly to pick up the children?
I would assume so.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Proceed.
No, thank you. Mr. Hill?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you, everyone. We'll see you February 28th at 10 a.m. All right, we're getting started a little bit behind schedule due to a sidebar. There's a lot of kids in this case and a lot of moving pieces and parts, and we're going to hear a lot about those updates during the report itself, but also we had a brief sidebar about it. So we have the names of our participants, please.
Carson Howitt, lawyer, guardian ad litem.
Ms. Tasha Thomas, counsel for the department. Ms. Burgess.
Brenda Burgess, foster care worker for the department.
Michael McFarland, representing mother. Has she joined us on Zoom today?
Looking for Ms. Rebecca Witten.
Rebecca Witten, mother of the children.
Thank you.
Thank you. Are you able to start your video feed for us this morning?
Yeah, I was wondering if we're gonna do a breakout room.
Did you need to talk to Mr. McFarland before we get started?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. McFarland, are you willing to do that?
Sure, I can step out in the back with my.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, one moment though, because we did have just a brief sidebar. Did you have any comments about that sidebar?
Really did not apply to my client, but I will discuss that with her, Your Honor.
Okay, I appreciate that. All right, so you can go ahead and step out then.
Sure, will do.
Okay, our next appearance, please.
Alexis Stang on behalf of Christopher Carter. Christopher, can you please mute and say your name for the record?
Okay. He tried to, his signal's not great this morning. Okay. Any comments about our sidebar, Ms. Stang?
No, thank you.
Okay.
Good morning, Your Honor. Ariel Berger here on behalf of Mark Kameen. Mark, can you get somewhere where you're not moving around and unmute and state your name for the record, please?
Mark Heyman, father of Paisley and Caleb.
Thank you. Okay, any comments about our sidebar, Ms. Berger?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Ms. Thomas?
How do I
Mr.
get to the
Howard?
breakout room?
Okay, hang on, Ms. Witten. I'm waiting for Mr. McFarland to join us, and then I'll let you into the breakout room. But I thought you might want to be present for what's happening before that.
Okay, thank you.
All right, comments about the sidebar, Ms. Thomas, Mr. Howitt?
No, Your Honor, I think your comments were accurate. A lot of it will be discussed on record. I just wanted to sort of give everyone a heads up of why I guess there might be some contradicting information or what appears to be contradicting information in the court report.
Mr. Howitt?
No further comments, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, well, thank you. Okay, at this time, I'm going to allow Mr. McFarland and Ms. Witten access to their breakout room. Okay, Mr. Howitt, typically we would start with you for updates. We don't have the mom for everything at this particular moment. Did you have comments that you wanted to make about anything that wouldn't necessarily pertain to her, or should we just wait on your report?
I think it'd be best just to have her hear my report at this point. Sorry.
No, that's great. I agree. And it's, I contributed to that by allowing them to the breakout room. So what we could do though, since every parent, of course, has the equal right to have their case heard independently, we could go to Ms. Thomas and ask her if she's got any witness testimony about Mr. Carter's case or Mr. Kamen's case while we're waiting for Ms. Witt to rejoin us.
Yes, Your Honor, I would ask Ms. Burgess to be sworn in.
Ms. Burgess, come on to our witness stand. We are broadcasting on YouTube, so Mr. Kamen, if you can try to avoid having the children out, and Ms. Burgess, heads up for you as well on the comments on this whenever you're ready.
Thank you. Good morning, Ms. Burgess. It's going to be a little different than how we normally do it, but as it relates to your court report, I would like to start with Mr. Carter. With your court report and the attachments that are included for him, which would be his case service plan. And then I believe the only other thing would maybe be the FAP parenting time support termination report. And then obviously the TDM meeting report. Are there any updates or modifications that you need to make or that you're aware of as relates to Mr. Carter's elements of the court report packet?
No.
Okay. And at this time, do you believe that, well, I guess as it relates to Mr. Carter, how would you describe his level of compliance with and benefit from his case service plan during this review period?
He has been compliant. He is working, which is, I think, a change since the last report period. He's actually working full-time and then working another part-time job. He has been visiting unsupervised beginning around July. Those seem to be going well. He has a vehicle. He's provided things related to that, like insurance. We're in the process of purchasing car seats so that he's able to transport the children. So overall, he's looking for housing. I know that he's met with Section 8. And so overall, he's compliant.
In the report, there's an indication that part of the issue with parenting time was simply the location, but it looks like maybe his sister's house was approved to have parenting time there. Is that still accurate, and is that occurring?
That's correct.
Okay.
The record should reflect, we welcome back Mr. McFarland and Ms. Witten to the main meeting room. We're just talking about Mr. Carter's case. Ms. Thomas, sorry for the interruption.
Nope, that's okay. Thank you. And Ms. Burgess, what are the current barriers for reunification as relates to Mr. Carter and his children?
Right now, really, it's housing.
Okay. And are there any services that the department has offered or could offer that would specifically address the barrier, that barrier regarding housing?
We could assist with, most likely, we could assist with like security deposit.
Okay.
And I know he has that option through, I believe, his role too.
All right. And so right now, is it just a matter of Mr. Carter finding an affordable place for himself that he can maintain?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And now as it relates to Ms. Witten, how would you describe her level of compliance with and benefit from her case service plan?
She is still in Harbor Light, although in August, she went to a step down program. So she is able to leave in the afternoon. She still has programming there, but she's able to leave to look for employment. And she did get a job at Meyer. So she is working. She is doing the foster care supportive visitation parenting class, and she's about halfway through that. She is visiting the children. She did do her psychological evaluation. We haven't gotten the results back yet. So overall, she is compliant overall.
There was a note or a comment in the report regarding the oldest child and that oldest child's permanency goal. And because Ms. Witten would be the only legal parent of that child, what are your current recommendations regarding the permanency goal for that child?
I did say that we would consider a goal change. I guess it all depends on Ms. Witten's progress. She should be done with her step down program probably by the end of October. So she would need to secure housing. And so right now I'm maintaining the permanency goal of reunification.
Okay. Are there concerns regarding Ms. Witten's ability to maintain sobriety and be consistent in the case service plan?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Are there concerns regarding Ms. Witten's ability to consistently comply with her case service plan and maintain sobriety?
So she is, since she's still at Harbor Light, she's still in a contained I don't know if that's the best way to put it, but in a facility. So I guess that will be determined once she is out, that would be a concern.
And in the past, the petition indicated that there had been some or a few removals in the past, correct?
Correct.
And in those removals, were there patterns of sobriety and compliance followed by, I guess, the cycle of then relapse and removal?
Yes.
Okay. And has that been addressed with Ms. Witten or any of the service providers to develop a plan to monitor that so that would not happen again?
Yes.
Okay. And can you tell us any more information about the specifics regarding, I'm going to refer to it as like a prevention plan for removal.
So I guess I can't answer that. You know, Rebecca and I talked from the very beginning about there have been prior removals, and so it was really important that she engage in treatment. I've talked with her therapist at Harbor Light. He says she's working their program. I'm assuming there is a relapse prevention plan. I don't have that.
Okay.
I can request it.
I'm sorry, what was that last?
I can request it.
Thank you.
All right. And the report indicates that parenting time with Ms. Witten is generally, it goes pretty well. Is that correct?
When there's all 5 children, she does struggle to keep everyone safe, and it's the twins are very busy, and the 2 middle girls enjoy doing crafts and games. The oldest is on her phone a lot. So that is a struggle with all 5 children. When there's just the 2 children, it goes fairly well. I mean, she engages, offers activities, and games and things, and that's better.
Okay. I know that in the report there was some indication there had been for the 3 children that live in the same residence with Mr. Kamen, that there were some missed visits due to transportation. Is that accurate?
That's accurate.
Okay. And how is the department assisting with ensuring those children get to parenting time?
So in July, I mean, we do offer the relative caregiver mileage for transporting, but then he has been ill and back in the hospital, and once he was out, I thought that would begin again, and then I was told that there were car problems, and Mark was getting the car fixed, and then the car did get fixed, or it was reported that it was fixed and that they were good to go, and then now there are more car problems. So I've requested transportation. We've had difficulty finding someone, so we are offering Ms. Witten, where instead of the children coming to her, we're trying to arrange where we can take Ms. Witten to the children.
And as it relates to Mr. Kamen, how would you describe his compliance with and benefit from his case service plan?
He is been compliant. He's been attending team wellness. He has weekly therapy. He has monthly case management. He also has some medical appointments, surrounding that treatment. He has worked with early on during the summer, gotten the children's special education services in place and has them enrolled in school. He is working with Team Wellness regarding case management for those two children, or at least one of the children. So overall, he has been compliant. He has been drug screening. However, there was a recent positive that he does not admit to using.
Was there any like retesting or confirmation? I know that's oftentimes we will offer parents an opportunity to retest, and I don't know if that happened.
By the time I learned about the test, I learned through requesting the records, and then I requested follow, like records after that, and received them on the 16th this week, and there were no drug screens. I don't know if that means that he didn't drug screen or that the records just weren't available. So and then I did get with his counselor, his therapist, and she said that she would check with the lab. And she came back and said the provider said that the screen was positive. So that's all the further checking I did.
Okay. Are there, and I guess as it relates to the children in general, how are they doing in their respective placements?
So I believe that the twins, I think they're doing fine. I think it's good that they're in school. It also gives Mark a break, and it gives him a chance to take care of other things. And as far as the middle two, they're doing well. They're in school. There is a medical issue where one of the children has a cardiology appointment scheduled for November. Otherwise, overall, they're doing well. As far as the oldest child, she's in school, and she seems to be doing fine.
The report indicates that the oldest child is in a relative placement with Mr. Kammen's father, correct?
Correct.
And they all live in the same home?
Correct.
Is that correct? Okay. And it looks like there was a complaint that was called in Wayne County related to the oldest child and her caregiver. Do you have any updates on how that investigation is going?
I'm sorry, the complaint was regarding the twins.
Okay.
Okay, the complaint was regarding the twins and alcohol use in the home by the oldest child's caregiver. And I don't have any updated information. I've talked to the worker a couple of times. Initially, when a worker went to the home, Mark was not cooperative. He has since asked for the phone number to contact the worker. It's been over a month, and I have not heard if they were able to make contact with them.
Okay. And do you have any concerns about the oldest child's caregiver continuing to care for her in the home?
Yes.
And can you elaborate on what steps have been taken to ensure that she continues to be safe in the current home environment?
Yes, so Mark has been acting as her caregiver. Really, he has gotten her to the dentist, to the orthodontist. He's attended her, meetings that we've had. The one thing that is lacking is her therapy. I know Mark has said she's in therapy, and she did have, an intake like in May, I want to say, but then appointments were either missed or canceled or rescheduled, and she did have one appointment September 9th. But we are looking at a change of placement. We did Mark requested a home study, and that is looking like it's going to be denied, but it's not completed.
Is there anything else that you would like the court to know regarding the court report or any of the attached documents?
Not that I can think of.
With that, Your Honor, I would ask the court to accept the court report and its attachments.
No objections.
No objections.
No objection.
Okay, Ms. Stang, I think you need your response one more time, please.
No objection.
Thank you. They are received. Cross-examination. Let's stay with Ms. Stang.
Yes, thank you. Regarding Christopher Carter, you testified that housing is his current biggest barrier to reunification, correct?
Correct.
And you testified that the department may be able to assist him with the deposit on an apartment?
Yes.
Is that something that you could look into after this court hearing and get a more definite answer on so that Mr. Carter knows if he would be able to have that or not?
Yes.
Okay. And then it looks like from the court report, the only other area that he still needs to satisfy would be the psychological evaluation, correct?
Correct. He missed his appointment.
Okay, and it sounds like there was some confusion on his end with the method of attending that originally scheduled appointment, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And the psychologist that was originally scheduled with, she will not reschedule that appointment per her office policy. Is that accurate?
Correct.
Okay. Has the department sent out any new referrals to any other psychologists so that he can get that scheduled?
I have not.
Okay. Is that something that you plan on doing?
I mean, I will do it if I need to, but I'm not sure that it's needed at this point.
Okay. So if it's not needed, could that be changed then, I guess, from not compliant to something else to show that it's no longer necessary?
Yes.
Okay. I have nothing further. Thank you.
Questions, Ms. Berger?
Thank you. Ms. Burgess, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. Specifically, what are the things that my client should be continuing to work on?
Definitely his treatment and building his support system. Mark and I have talked a lot about his supports, and because of his past, he doesn't associate with the people that he used to associate with, and he does not really have any support. So that's something that he should work on, as well as continuing this treatment.
Okay. And so the drug screen that you stated was positive, who was that completed for?
It was done at Team Wellness.
Got it. Okay. And there's no way to like recheck that or verify it or anything?
Not to my knowledge.
And is he screening it all for you too?
When I see him, he does screen for me. I have not seen him this month.
Okay. Have any of the screens that he's completed for you been positive?
No.
Okay. Those are questions. Thank you.
Mr. McFarland?
What's the procedure that you have set up for retesting a screen to see whether it's a false negative, having an original sample available for retest? What's the policy of the agency on this?
I don't know what Team Wellness's policy is.
What's the agency's policy on the ability to request a retest or the original sample for retesting? You know.
I don't.
Sounds as though what I'm hearing from you is you would like my client to provide, or a recovery provider to provide, a course of action that she's going to follow to prevent relapse and what type of support she will have when she's released. Is that correct from that program?
Yes, there's usually a relapse prevention plan in place.
So that's something that she could work on obtaining for you right now. You would like to see that, correct?
Correct.
And I suppose that if you positively thought that, well, I guess in every case of a substance recovery issue, there's always some thought in the agency's mind of relapse, right?
Correct.
But if you definitely thought she was going to relapse, you'd be asking for termination of parental rights and not reunification. But that's also correct, correct?
Correct.
Why, you said, I'm not going to use any children's name because we're on YouTube, but what's the reason that you think Mr. Kamen would not be approved for the oldest child in his custody, the 14-year-old?
Well, first of all, we have the open CPS investigation that he initially didn't cooperate with. We have the positive drug screen, the recent positive drug screen. And then there's just the fact that he doesn't have supports. He doesn't have, and he has a lot on his plate. He's working on his own treatment, his own issues. Like I said, he has a full plate.
As I understand, because he's not the biological father of this 14-year-old and he is of the twins, there's a different standard of care that you look for placement. Is that true?
Correct.
Okay, so my client understands what's going on here. My client indicates that she believes she's only had 2 prior removals, not 3 prior removals, as is in the court report. Might that be possible?
That is confusing, but I believe there have been 3.
Can you explain what you mean by confusing?
So this was a Monroe case before, so I don't have all of the background, but I believe, and then there were different children involved. She hadn't had the twins yet, so there was one case, and then I was thinking that the oldest child went home, and then there was a new petition there.
Does that reference, even if it was a reference of 3 or 2, does that really sway this case one way or another right now? Is that an important?
Well,
fact? What I'm getting.
I just think it's important to note that her prior case, I think, was open probably for 2.5 years.
Okay.
So.
Fair enough. Apparently a couple visits were missed with my client and the twins. Are those going to be made up?
We're working on it. I don't know that they'll be made up one for one, but we're working on that.
Okay, working on it means they will be made up somehow,
Yes.
sometime?
Mhm.
Okay, thank you. I know you indicated that when all the children are visiting with my client together, there's perhaps, well, we've heard your testimony, but I guess in real life, that could be the same in a normal family when you have all these children, different ages, 14-year-old on a tablet or a phone, young twins being rambunctious. In normal life, 5 kids in a room of these various ages and interests, that may not be abnormal for what you're viewing, correct?
No, and the twins are definitely behind in special needs. And I guess what I was referring to is like one instance is one of the twins was taking a small, I don't know what it was, a small piece of something off of one of the kids' backpacks and going to put it in their mouth. And so, I mean, things like that she didn't notice that. And I said, I think she just needs more eyes.
Okay. Has there been any discussion with my client, if she wants it, and I'll find out from her because I'm going to call her as a witness, her having maybe a visit, one or visits with the twins together and then maybe with all the kids together or something like that. So she has, maybe some time to spend, more time to focus on a group of an age group. What do you think about that?
We are offering Friday to take her to the twins for a couple of hours for a visit.
So you're already on top of that, it sounds like. It sounds as though my client is where she's supposed to be in her recovery through the program. Is that correct?
Yes.
There's a lot of things she has to focus on, but she has employment, looks as though I'm hearing housing, correct?
Correct.
Should the housing that she's locating be suitable for return of all the children to her, or are you only is your only expectation that the housing should be just for her right now until we get to the stage where we're looking at return of the children, just so she knows what she's looking for as far as housing?
Yeah, that would be my recommendation.
Which is for her singularly, and then you will let her know when she should start exploring for housing for return. Is that what I'm hearing?
Correct.
Thank you. What do you think the strengths are of my client during this last reporting period?
I think she's good at advocating for herself. She's good at asking for what she needs. She, seems to be maintaining in the program. She does love her children. She does. I think her communication with me has been better during this report period. Checking in to see, are we visiting today? I just double checking on the time, that kind of thing. So.
Lastly, she has a lot on her palette as far as what she needs to do. Is she placing her focus where it needs to be?
I think so. I've also encouraged her to apply for disability. That's something that we've talked about throughout the case. She does have access to a peer support, I believe it's called, through CMH, that can help her with resources and things. And I know that there are folks there at Harbor Lake that can help her, like if she were to apply for disability. I was told that there's help there. So those types of things.
What disability specifically is your belief that she might qualify for?
Autism, and different mental health issues.
And that'd be a financial incentive. Is that what I'm hearing?
Correct.
There might be some money's there to help her with the children
Correct.
that she can utilize for the family, correct?
Correct.
One more lastly, because you brought up disability, sorry.
Okay.
Under the American Disabilities Act, how do you feel that you're complying or accommodating what you believe is a disability?
I mean, I feel like I provide reminders for appointments and meetings and things. You know, we're transporting the children.
Thank you. I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Howard, do you have questions?
Yes. Ms. Burgess, and I know this is kind of a hypothetical, but if Mr. Carter was able to obtain appropriate housing, what does that transition or next steps look like for the two girls?
I think we would definitely start with more parenting time. Are you asking for length of time or?
Just a little bit of everything. Just what would those next steps look like?
Yeah, I mean, he would have to have childcare for return. So we would work on that as well as additional longer parenting time.
Okay.
To see how
And
that
then,
goes.
yeah, and then how would you characterize the oldest counseling attendance this reporting period?
I'm sorry, the oldest
The
counseling.
Yeah, the oldest.
Counseling?
Yeah, her counseling attendance this reporting period.
Yeah, she has only made one appointment, September 9th. She may have gone this week that I don't know about, but that's the last that I know about.
Okay. And then I know it's only been a couple weeks, but with school starting for the twins, have you noticed any difference with Mr. Kamen's capabilities or ability to work on some things at his house or work on some things with himself, with them being out of the home for a little bit each day?
Not a big difference but I think that it is helping. I think that it's helping, he can get some things done during that time. But as far as he's always been good at communicating with me. So, and I haven't been to the home since school started, so I can't speak about that.
Yeah. All right. Nothing further.
Carter's currently on felony parole for a charge of felonious assault and is not scheduled to be off of parole until June of 2026. Is that still accurate?
Yes.
He's in compliance with those parole
Yes.
obligations?
Mm-hmm.
Understanding that he didn't attend or wasn't able to attend the psychological evaluation, which typically has a child abuse potential inventory as part of it. And this court took use of that to determine whether or not, appropriate parenting skills are in place, especially in light of his conviction. Do you share any of those concerns that the court has in understanding whether or not his parenting would continue to be affected by that conviction, that potential criminality aspect?
Yes. So I will schedule an evaluation.
All right, thank you. He did complete something through Orchards, I think, didn't he? Is that right? Or one of the parenting programs?
Yes, he did.
Does that program have some insights on discipline and interactions with children around those concerns?
If you know. his reports were all very good. Is that what you were asking?
Right.
Yes, his reports were all very good.
Okay. As to the Wittens, both Mark and Rebecca, they both have outstanding warrants right now for driving while license suspended. Is that accurate?
That is.
And all of the children that are shared by both of them have special needs and would need transportation regularly to attend those special needs, not to mention regular transportation for education and doctor's visits, but they have additional appointments that would be necessary as well, yes?
Yes.
Have either of them indicated to you how they intend to, or if they intend to address those outstanding warrants?
Yes.
What's the plan?
So they both talk about, like Rebecca talks about saving her money so that she can, and plans on turning herself in, and then Mark the same.
All right. Mark's warrant's been out since August of 2024, yes? And
Sarah, yes?
yes.
Yes.
And she has warrants in 2 different counties. Okay. So at this point, would you authorize either of them to have any kind of obviously Mark has children in his care. Do you have concerns about that, given the outstanding warrants?
I mean, he had the warrants when we placed the children there. And then if you're asking about unsupervised, I'm not recommending unsupervised for Ms. Witten.
I know you're endorsing reunification with all 3 of these parents. What kind of time frame does that look like for each of these parents in your mind as reasonable for the children given their ages?
I think this next review period, I think it needs to be within the next review period. I think after that, we would need to look at a goal change for at least the oldest.
As it relates to Mark's positive drug screens, I'm a little confused about that. Can you just clarify? Is there 1 or 2 positive drug screens and how you found out about those? And then, did he miss some drug screens as well?
Not to my knowledge, but he's not. I mean, I listed all of the screens in the report, and the only positive was September 9th. I mean, I'm sorry, September 3rd.
Thank you for clarifying. All right, questions based on my questions from any of our attorneys?
Yes.
Yes. Go ahead.
All right, Ms. Tang.
Thank you. Just to clarify, is the department now planning to request and send in a referral for Mr. Carter to have that psychological evaluation done, or is the department satisfied with the Orchard's parenting assistance program that he's in compliance and doesn't need that?
I'll make the referral.
Okay. And then it was brought up that you believe that the next review period should be when reunification occurs. As far as Mr. Carter's parenting time, though, has he had any overnight visits?
No.
Okay. Is that something that the department is willing to allow him to start having, or is there something that needs to happen before he can participate in those visits?
I think he needs to have longer visits, longer day visits, and I wouldn't recommend overnights without him having housing.
Okay. Is he not able to have those overnights in his sister's home that was approved?
I believe they did that in the past, but there again, I feel like he needs to have his own housing. And I don't know what the rules are. Her home is an apartment building for folks that are disabled. So I guess I would need to get more information. But at the same time, I just would rather he secure his own home.
Okay, and again, just to confirm, the department will look into assisting him with the deposit for the housing, since that does seem to be one of the biggest barriers for Mr. Carter, correct?
Correct.
Okay, I have nothing further. Thank you.
Mr. McFarland.
Would it be correct for my client to presume that because one father who does not have a driver's license has the children placed with him, that she doesn't necessarily need to take care of hers to have the children placed with her? Was that correct or not?
I guess I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Well, you mentioned that one father, Mark, has warrant out for a driving offense. He does not have a legal license, correct?
Correct.
Mother's in the same boat, correct?
Correct.
He has children placed with him through your agency, correct?
Correct.
Is her having a warrant, not having a license, going to be an impediment if it's not for Mark?
I'm not talking about the license, but she needs to take care of the warrants.
Well, he's not taking care of his, and he still has the kids placed with him, so that's why I'm asking.
Correct.
Does she have to take care of her warrant?
There's
Or-
two. One.
Warrants, plural. Does she need to take care of her legal issues before consideration of the kids being placed with her? Put it that way.
Yes.
How is she different than father who already has the kids with him with a warrant?
Like I said, they were placed with him at the beginning of the case.
We had the warrant at the beginning of the case, correct?
I don't know if that was known about. I mean, I don't know. I guess I can't speak to that.
Fair enough, fair enough. I guess the only other thing I want to focus on is, you said this next 90-day period, the next review is the make or break for keeping the goal of reunification for mother. So what specifically are you looking for her to do in this next 90 days so the goal stays reunification?
Continue her treatment, figure out where she's going to live.
Figure out or actually have a place?
Or have a place, yes. Locate housing, utilize her resources that she has, her peer support, her folks there at the agency.
Is there anything other than housing that she's not doing now that she needs to have done?
No, other than keeping track of appointments and things. I think that's another thing that she could work on. Having a calendar. I know people like to put things in her phone, but then if she doesn't, if for some reason she gets her phone taken away, then she can't look at her phone. So I would just.
You're saying like an old-fashioned calendar that she can write dates on?
I would encourage her to do that.
Sure. Thank you. Nothing further.
Anyone else have any questions for Ms. Burgess?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Thank you for your thank you. Thank you for your testimony. We return to your seat. Thank you. All right. I have three other things scheduled for this morning. The 10:30 is patiently awaiting the commencement of their hearing. And clearly we've gotten through one witness very well, but I think that there's clearly the need to allow the parents to testify if they so choose, and to have time for that rush. So I would like to offer to the parties the opportunity to continue today's hearing into next Wednesday. I have an hour at 11 a.m. on Wednesday, September 24th. I'd like to know if you're all available.
I'm in a full day trial in Lucas County that day.
I'm also not available that day either.
Ms. Berger, I know that you're scheduled to be out on Tuesday the 30th, and so are you, Mr. Howitt. Are those two commitments still in place for you all, or can I look at September 30th for purposes of continuing today's hearing?
I would be available.
I'm not available.
Okay. All right.
Your Honor, I don't know if this is helpful at all. On our afternoon hearing, we had for Tuesday the 23rd, On my calendar, at least, it shows we're doing a half-day hearing, but we just were able to get that father served with a petition. So I think it's just gonna be a prelim if we wanted to use the later part of the afternoon, if possible.
2:30, Tuesday, September 23rd.
I'm available.
Okay, hang on. Ms. Stang, let's hear from you first. Are you available 2:30 on the 23rd?
Yes, I am.
Ms. Berger?
Yes.
Mr. Howitt?
Yes.
Mr. McFarland?
Checking my calendar right now, but presuming I'm not in another court, yes.
Thank you for the suggestion, Ms. Thomas. So we'll continue then till Tuesday, the 23rd at 2:30 p.m.
Can I ask my client, Your Honor, if she's able to get work off work? Ma'am, is that time okay with you?
So much I needed to say in
What is the place?
Ms. Witten, are you available on the 23rd at 2:30?
I should be, yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Kamen, we can hear you. And can appreciate your frustration, and I want to make some time for you to testify. Are you available the 23rd at 2:30?
Yes, I am sorry. There was just a lot of corrections on my end. I apologize.
Well, we're going to make some
Yes.
time for that. And I accept your apology. I appreciate you offering. We'll see the 23rd at 8. Okay, we are on record this afternoon for a review. May I have the names of our participants, please?
Marcy Howitt, lawyer, guardian ad items.
Sasha Thomas, counsel for the department.
Amber Richardson, foster care specialist for the department.
Michael McFarland, representing mother. Is she on Zoom, Your Honor?
For Rebecca Witten.
Yes.
I have someone logged in under Rebecca.
Zoom.
Rebecca Witten, mother of the children.
Alexis Stang on behalf of Christopher Carter. Christopher, can you please unmute and state your name?
Christopher Carter, Lyric on Lila's father.
Good afternoon.
All
Your
right.
Honor.
Sorry, I just wanted to remind everybody that we are on YouTube this afternoon, so if we can avoid using the names of the children, that would be best. Sorry, Ms. Berger, go ahead.
No problem, Your Honor. Thank you. Ariel Berger here on behalf of Mark Kamen. Mark, go ahead and introduce yourself, please.
Kamen.
Okay, third review and permanency planning hearing scheduled for today. Mr. Howe?
Yes, Your Honor. I was able to meet with all 5 children in person this reporting period. First I saw the twins and the oldest, KW, at their home or their placement with Mr. Kameen in Wayne County. So I was able to stop by on December 3rd and got there kind of right before the twins got home from school. And this was actually my first time being in the home without the twins there. And I made some reports in the past. The twins are, they have their autism and they are a lot and move around a lot. So, but it was really nice to get to talk to Mr. Kameen and, observe him in a much more kind of relaxed setting and be able to have like a more in-depth conversation. So, I was able to see him, transition the twins off the bus and into the house, which, those transitions can be a lot for children with their needs. But, he handled it really well. They went, they knew exactly what they were doing. They're going to go right and get a snack. I think both of them went right to the pantry. So, tell that they're really well adjusted to this new routine they have. And, this is kind of like, their routine is now that they have their ABA therapy in place. They do their ABA therapy in the morning, go to school, and then come home from school and, eat their snack and do their kind of nighttime activities. And I think that it's really helping them. Since I've seen them, this was the most relaxed, calm, and, I asked if they were tired, but, the female twin said she was not. So she was pretty clear and adamant that she wasn't tired, but really doing well there with those twins and their needs and making sure that they're taken care of. But I believe it's in their best interest to remain in that home, and due to their needs and to their age, I did not get their wishes. While in the home, I was able to talk with the oldest, KW. This reporting period, we got some more information on how she was doing really in school. And, I think the report card was in the court report, but, it's not great. There's a lot of absences. And, we talked to Mr. Kameen about what was going on. And I think he is aware of these issues now, and he's taken some appropriate steps to kind of correct the trajectory of her grades, including like phone privileges, being in better communication with the school, and, just making sure that he's checking in with her more on schoolwork that, we would expect of him, and, take care of these normal parental duties over KW. So the school also is offering her some academic support, and I believe that's daily. And I may be wrong in that, but I believe it's regular. And then she's also in a support therapy group that meets weekly at school. And she reported to me that she engages in that as well. Also of concern is, her counseling. There were some issues with getting a hold of her counselor, and, getting a report into the core report, and, just getting some information on how she's doing. So I had requested that Mr. Keeman go into the building, because I think it's just right down the street from them, and try to get some information. And he was able to do that. He found out that she actually wasn't attending her virtual counseling appointments. She would just go in the room and shut the door and not do it. So I think we found that out, and, since then she's gone to 2 appointments, and Mr. Kamen will be ensuring that she attends regularly. I do have some concerns for her and her mental health, and, obviously her grades as well, but I think it's really important that she's engaged in counseling. And, I think they had set it for twice a month. I think that needs to be weekly, and maybe even give consideration to some trauma assessment or some other assessment to just get a better understanding of her mental health needs. I don't think that we've engaged her in one of those, and be able to line up services that will best assist her moving forward, because I do think she is struggling to a certain extent right now, and she wasn't, engaging with those services. So, and we really don't, have a professional opinion on how she's doing with her mental health, other than my observations and the workers' observations. But right now, she still wishes to remain in Mr. Kamen's home. I believe that's in her best interest. She's in 14. She is engaged in school there, and she's going to be working to get those grades up and feel comfortable there. I look to Mr. Kamen to ensure that she's in counseling and that her grades do improve these next few weeks. I was able to meet with the 2 girls, LC and LC, in my office on November 26, 2025. The 2 of them just played with a few toys, and this was I think this was my first time seeing them in person and together and engaging with each other. I observed the older one to be very, artistic and organized. She made this rainbow out of a toy in my office, but she let me know that she was missing horns, so she could complete it. But, and this would line up with some of the observations that I've heard from the placement, that she's more the artistic one. She also recently lost a tooth and asked the tooth fairy to bring her a notebook so she could finish writing her book. So she's very smart and, academically and artistically oriented. The younger of the 2 was a little bit more all over the place, and she was just getting into everything she could. But I could tell the 2 of them have a strong bond together. They've been placed in, a couple different homes now and back and forth with their parents. So I definitely think that they, get along and play together really well. I talked to both of them about how their visits are going. They said that they really enjoy getting with their mom and siblings, and, they also enjoy their time with their dad. I did hear some reports and some concerns about some visitation that I'd like to just clarify today, that before commenting any further, and I think we'll be able to get into that. But I believe that they're very well adjusted and situated in this home, and, I think this placement is doing a great job making sure that they're really well taken care of. They're comfortable there too. Foster sibling was at the visit, and, I watched both of them easily engage with her, as if it was like another sibling or a cousin or just like a close family member. But these children did not share their wishes due to their age. Thank you.
Testimony today, Ms. Thomas.
Thank you, Your Honor. If Ms. Richardson can be sworn in to provide her report.
Now to our witness stand.
Thank you. Okay, Ms. Richardson, for today's hearing, you've prepared a court report. It has several attachments, so thank you for providing us with all that information. To the best of your knowledge, are there any updates or modifications that need to be made to the report that you've written or any of the documents that are attached?
Just what Carson had mentioned, that I didn't find out until after the court report that there had been some missed visits with the therapist by KW. From my understanding, Mark has since rectified that situation to make sure that he's seeing her physically on the phone or on the computer with the therapist before he leaves the room for privacy.
Thank you for that update. And at this time, we have 2 children who are with their father, and then a court-ordered placement for the oldest child within the same home. Then the 2 youngest ones, they remain in a licensed foster care home. Is that correct?
Not the 2 youngest, the 2 middle.
2 middle, sorry. I apologize for that. Yes.
Yes, the 2 middle,
Okay.
LCW and LCW are in the licensed foster.
Okay. And as it relates to Ms. Witten, what would be the current barriers to reunification for her and her children?
So as of right now, it would be housing, employment, and continued substance abuse treatment, as well as mental health treatment and medication compliance and review.
And as it relates to housing, the report indicates that she left against facility advice from the last place she was living. Do you know where she's living now?
She's at the Oaks, which is a shelter in Monroe, Michigan.
So she's still there. Okay.
To my
And
knowledge,
as it
yes.
relates, okay. And as it relates to employment, it looks like there was a change in employment last reporting period. She was gainfully employed at Meyer, and then this reporting period, is she employed to the best of your knowledge still?
No, she is not. She lost her position at Meyer.
Okay. And then do you have any updates as relates to her substance abuse treatment and ability to maintain sobriety?
To my knowledge, we talked during the FTM that was held at the end of last month about her getting into intensive outpatient with Catholic Charities. To my understanding, she has not done that. So to my knowledge, she is not currently participating in any substance abuse treatment after she had left Harbor Lake.
The screens that are attached, the positives, I believe, were just for, and I might not have reviewed this too thoroughly, but looks like the positives were just for THC and norepinephrine, which I'm guessing that's a prescribed medication. Is that are either of those drugs a concern for you?
The marijuana would be a concern, yes.
And is that based off of the psychological evaluation summary?
Yes, in the psychological evaluation, it was very strongly encouraged that she abstain from any substances other than prescription drugs.
Okay. There are a few documents in this report that sort of highlight some concerns that I think maybe are new for Ms. Witten related to her cognitive abilities. Have you addressed that with her?
So I talked with her about going to the Michigan Rehabilitative Services in Monroe to work with them as far as employment and independent living skills. To my knowledge, she has not done that, and I believe that's been a referral, not only this reporting period, but the prior as well.
And have you had to adapt any services or the way that you communicate or share information with her based on the concerns that there might be limited cognitive or intellectual functioning?
Yeah, for Rebecca, I make sure to remind her of things that are upcoming. I put together lists for her and email them to make sure that she has a list of the things that we talked about and priorities of tasks that she needs to get completed or work on. I also gave her a calendar to start writing down appointments on And Orchard's Children's Services has been working with her on utilizing her phone as a reminder system, as well as using the calendar in there.
Wonderful. And then mental health treatment and medication compliance, where, I guess, what is your main concern in those pieces of her treatment plan?
It was reported to me that she missed a medication review in September, and then also was not in contact with her case manager, and her case manager could not get a hold of her. Since we've had the family team meeting, she has now reconnected with them and has had an appointment with both her peer support specialist and also her CMH case manager. So there was some time in there that there was a medication review appointment was missed, as well as some check-ins.
Okay. And is she receiving regular mental health treatment?
Yes.
Like therapy? Okay. Parenting time, the reports indicate things seem to be going fairly well. Is there anything you'd like to share with the court or highlight from those reports related to parenting time?
I think Rebecca does a really good job during parenting time. I think keeping a schedule and making sure that she is on time and confirming those visits is a struggle. But from my perspective, I think that has improved a little bit since I've been working on the case.
Okay. And then as it relates to Mr. Carter and his children, which are the middle ones, what would be his barriers to reunification?
Currently, it's housing.
Okay. And it looks like his parenting time has expanded during this review period. Is that accurate?
That's correct.
Okay. And has that officially moved? Can you tell us where that stands today, his parenting time?
Yeah, it was increased from 2 hours twice a week to 3 hours twice per week, and those are unsupervised visits.
Are there any concerns about how parenting time with Mr. Carter is going?
I do not have any concerns at this time.
Okay. And to the best of your knowledge, he's complying with all of his release requirements and is still employed and doing all the other services required of him?
Correct.
Okay. Do you know, or is there anything the department can do to help or assist with housing for Mr. Carter at this time?
So as of right now, he has a housing choice voucher that was approved. He's just currently in the process of trying to find a place that's appropriate and then go from there. We could potentially help with first month's rent and security deposit, but he needs to find a place that accepts that voucher first. It's my understanding that he's currently working with a landlord to do that.
Wonderful. And then Mr. Kamen, his children are with him, and he's also providing care for the older child. Are there any other services that he needs to participate in or maintain engagement with?
I would like him to maintain engagement with team wellness. He's currently doing that now.
Okay.
As well as the school, more involvement with the school so that he's on top of the twins' needs.
The last review period, there was some concern about some drug screens that were positive for Mr. Kamen. Has that been a concern during this review period?
It has not.
Okay, wonderful. Is there anything, I know that there was also some talk about Mr. Kamen needing to establish a custody order for his children. Were you able to assist with that at all or figure out what needs to happen? I know that's kind of a awkward situation right now.
We were, Mark and myself were given the paperwork that was needed. I have not shared this with Mark yet, but I did start to fill out that paperwork, and I was going to let him know where I was at with that. But
Okay.
yes, that's been started.
Okay, and that custody order, I believe, is out of Monroe County. Is that accurate?
I don't believe so. I
No,
think it's Wayne.
Okay.
Wayne.
Okay. I know that with the past cases, there were some custody orders established in Monroe, but I wasn't sure the progress on any of that, or if you were able to do that. So thank you for that update. Let's see. And then other than that, is there anything that you would like the court to know about how the children are doing, or anything else related to this case?
I don't think I have anything additional.
All right. Well, thank you for your testimony. With that, Your Honor, I have no further questions of Ms. Richardson. Would ask the court to accept the court report with the attachments.
No objections.
No objections.
No objection.
No objection.
Thank you. They are received. Questions for this witness, Ms. Dang?
Yes, just briefly. Thank you. Are you aware as to the meeting that Mr. Carter has scheduled later today with the landlord about housing?
I didn't hear all that, Your Honor.
It cut out a little bit for me too. I'm sorry.
Sorry. Are you aware of the meeting that Mr. Carter has later today with the landlord to look into housing?
Yes, he did let me know via text that he had was supposed to meet with someone today.
Okay. And are you aware that there were some issues with the voucher that had originally been given to Mr. Carter?
Yes.
Okay. And then with regards to the psychological evaluation, is it your understanding that Mr. Carter did show up for the rescheduled evaluation, but it was Dr. Park that had gotten some things mixed up?
That is correct.
Okay. And he has another psychological evaluation then rescheduled for the end of December, correct?
I actually believe it was rescheduled for tomorrow for him, unless I'm mistaken. It was the 30th and then it was pushed up to the 10th.
Okay, so if the court report that was submitted said the 30th, that's just because it hasn't been updated to the state. Okay.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay. And is it your understanding then if Mr. Carter gets housing, as soon as he's able to do that and it's appropriate and approved, then he would be able to be reunified with the children?
Yes, I think we would start discussing transitioning. Yes.
Okay. I have nothing further. Thank you.
Ms. Berger?
I have no questions, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. McFarland?
There's a possibility that any petition for custody will be rejected in Detroit because you have to list that there's already existing probate court case going down here. What would you do then?
I would not be a part of that process. I was just helping Mark fill out the paperwork.
I mean, if he's unable to proceed with custody because of our case down here in Wayne County, what is that going to do anything to this case?
I'm honestly not sure of the answer to that.
Okay.
I don't know.
I understand. Well, you just said that a father's going to be getting some type of voucher or a living voucher. Will my client be afforded the same opportunity to get a voucher for independent living?
So as far as I know, Rebecca had some past monies that were due to that program that have not been paid. So I don't know that she's eligible at this time. But certainly she could work with the housing program in Monroe to see if there are other possibilities for her. At this point, I don't think that she has done that.
You don't know, which means you don't know yes or you don't know no. Am I correct on that?
I don't know if she's eligible. That's correct.
We can explore eligibility for her as you have for the father.
I can, yes.
My understanding is that with the marijuana, it's not prescribed. That's your issue with that, correct?
As far as I know, she does not have a medical marijuana card.
So if she has a medical marijuana card, if she obtained one, then it'd be a prescription medication, it'd be okay, correct?
I would think so.
Okay. I don't see in the reports for parenting time where she's high or where it's affected her. It's not reported in the report, correct?
Correct.
a reprieve. The fans are off. The frequency of my clients' visits.
Yes.
What are the frequency and duration?
So she sees KW and the twins every Monday for 2 hours. And then every Wednesday, she sees LCW and LCW for 2 hours as well.
Okay. Are you asking that the goal continue to be reunification?
For which
For
children?
my client and all the children.
I think the only change that we would be requesting for right now would be for KW and for that to be guardianship.
Guardianship would entail some type of parenting time for mom, correct?
I'm not sure at this time. I don't know.
You don't have a position on that?
I don't.
So she's having parenting time with that child right now, correct?
Correct.
Need to be in the best interest of the child just to cut off any visits with her mom and the guardianship?
Really sure how to answer what that would look like when guardianship is in place. I'm sorry.
That could be explored sometime down the road?
Absolutely. Yeah, I can, this next reporting period, I can absolutely explore that and have an answer.
Okay. Since at least for some of the children, reunification is a goal. A lot of times this court typically gives 6 hours per visit per child. Is there anything, any obstructions why my client can't have more parenting time since the goal is reunification?
Well, I think that there are some barriers because there are 5 children. There are schedules to work out with two fathers, with school for the children, as well as transportation, as well as work schedules and visitation for Mr. Carter too. So it's just not been something that we've been able to figure out, getting each child to have the 6 hours per week. She is, as an improvement, now seeing KW every week when prior she was not. So we have improved upon that.
Rather than the frequency, have you considered a longer duration to give mom more time?
Well, especially for the school age children, I don't see that being possible with school schedule as well as nighttime, bedtime routine.
Mom could also be helping them do some of their homework, which would be a normal routine, correct?
Yeah, she could absolutely be doing that.
Oh, we have holidays coming up. We have Christmas holiday and some other holidays. Might she be awarded some extra parenting time during the holidays when they're not in school? We have Easter that may come up before our next review, and we have Christmas vacation break. What are your thoughts for her on those?
We can certainly explore that. I don't know the answer to that right now. It hasn't been discussed as of right now.
But that maybe be done at a family team meeting prior to the holiday vacation time?
We can absolutely discuss it prior to the holiday vacation time. Yeah.
I know there's a lot on my client's plate on the case service plan. And it sounds as though she's reprioritizing community mental health, right?
Yes, she's back engaged with them.
Where should is there any place where she should be prioritizing that she's not?
I think that she needs to engage back in substance abuse services. To my knowledge, she has not gotten with the intensive outpatient program with Catholic Charities, unless there's an update that I'm not aware of.
And that would be in Monroe County is where you want her to engage in that?
Correct.
Nothing further, thank you.
Mr. Howard, any questions?
Yes. As far as Ms. Witten and KW, is there any update on the status of their therapeutic visitation?
There has not been an update. We have tried multiple times to get an update from the person that will hold the therapeutic visitation, and there has not been one. We would still like to have that happen, and I'm gonna have to really dive in and maybe see if we need to switch a provider.
And the plan is to have that be virtual?
Correct.
And is Parkside the provider you're referring to, or is it?
You know what, I'm not positive because it hasn't started yet. I apologize.
As I was in the court report, has Mr. Carter engaged in any mental health treatment?
Not that I'm aware of. He's supposed to be doing the psychological to see if he needs to move forward with doing more mental health services in the future.
And then in the court report, it indicated that Mr. Carter was living for, I believe, a short period of time with Ms. Witten. Are you aware of what their relationship is?
I don't believe that they're planning together as far as like a romantic relationship. And yes, they were living together for a short time when Rebecca left Harbor Light. And Mr. Carter had to leave his apartment. So they stayed together in a hotel room for a week and a half, potentially something like that, before she went to the Oaks. But it's not romantic to my understanding. I think that Mr. Carter was trying to be helpful.
Is Mr. Carter still in the hotel?
Correct.
Is that something the department is helping out with, or?
We have helped. We have paid for 7 days at that hotel, but the rest of the time, from my understanding, Mr. Carter has paid for that.
And then for visits with Mr. Carter and his 2 children, what is the current format?
So currently, he sees them on Tuesdays. He picks them up from Kids Club, and that's for 3 hours. And then on Saturdays, he picks them up from the licensed foster care home and drops them back off for 3 hours.
Have there been any concerns with those visitations, with anything with maybe eating or involvement with the children's mother?
I think that the licensed foster home is concerned that he's giving them more snack type of foods or like dessert type of things like ice cream during visits. He states that he's giving them like McDonald's, like chicken nuggets and French fries. And then from my understanding, when Rebecca was at Harbor Light, he took them to see her through a window whilst talking on the phone at the same time. Other than that, I don't believe there have been any other situations where the children have been involved that he's been a part of.
And is that a concern for you?
Yeah, it's a concern. We would definitely want him to be focused on his own parenting and time with the children when he gets it, since it is limited at this time to the 3 hours.
And now for KW, have you had a conversation with Mr. Kamen recently about what his plan is to be on top of her schooling and mental health?
Yes, he said he's going to be more engaged, especially with the mental health services that she had been missing. He said that he's going to actually be visualizing now when the therapist is on the call before he will leave the room to give her privacy, as well as putting in place some phone privilege takeaways if she's not doing her homework or engaging in her school stuff to get the grades up.
Any redirect?
I have no questions, Your Honor.
Any other cross-examination, counselors?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
One question.
Again, I don't want to forget about Ms. Stang. Ms. Stang, did you have any other questions?
Sorry, I think I talked at the same time as Ms. Berger. No, thank you.
Very good. Go ahead, Mr. McFarland.
When is Mr. Carter's psychological evaluation scheduled?
It was scheduled for the 30th of December. As of the time that I turned this report in, I believe that has been updated and that it's now scheduled for the 10th.
So he knows.
Correct.
Oh, that's all I care about.
Yes.
Thank you. Nothing further.
Okay, Mr. Howard, did you have any other questions?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you for your testimony. You may return to your seat. Thank you. Any other witnesses? Ms. Thomas?
No, Your Honor, I'll leave it to parent attorneys if they would like to call their clients. Thank you.
Okay. Witness testimony today, Ms. Alexa Stang.
No, thank you.
Ms. Berger?
Mark, would you like to testify today?
No.
Okay, thank you. We have no testimony then, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Kameen, which county are you looking to file your custody or parenting time paperwork in?
So the twins were born in Wayne County and we live in Wayne County. So it's Wayne County.
Have you ever filed anything before on them? Is there anything out there already?
So I went down there when the twins got placed with me when they were first born, and they basically told me there was nothing they could do because I didn't have any paperwork. So basically, from what I understand, I have to file a complaint against Miss Witten and then have a hearing and go that way about it.
Okay, so there's nothing pending in Monroe or anywhere else?
Nope.
All right, and have you in fact started that paperwork process?
I have not gotten the paperwork yet.
Okay. All right, Ms. Berger, would you be willing to work with him on that?
Your Honor, I already have. I sent it to him and to the caseworker. I believe the caseworker is helping him fill in the blanks, and then she's going to bring it to him.
Okay,
Right, Mr.
yeah.
Yeah, if you want to stop coming to see me, that's the way.
I'm all about that.
Okay.
No offense.
Good.
No offense.
No offense taken. No offense taken. I think it'd be great if you could get your family organized and stay on track the way you have been. Good luck.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Testimony today, Mr. McFarland?
I'd like to inquire of Ms. Witten. Ms. Witten, do you wish to testify?
Okay, Rebecca Witten, do we still have you with us?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry. I was trying to figure out how to unmute. I don't think I need to testify today.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Anyone you'd like us to hear from, Mr. Howell?
Mr. Carter.
All right, Deputy Ames, if you could swear in Mr. Carter. He does appear to us by Zoom, but his camera does appear to be, on. Oh, there it is.
Mr. Carter, can you raise your right hand, please, sir?
Mr. Carter, were you able to hear Ms. Richardson's report regarding your parenting time with the two girls?
Yes, I was.
Okay. Do you think it is a concern that you're bringing the girls around their mom during your parenting time?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we went over it in my family team meeting. I shouldn't have done it. I know that it's not going to happen again.
Okay. And I apologize, I was not able to attend the meeting. When you do have the girls, what kind of meals are you providing?
Chicken nuggets and French fries, pretty much. That's what they ask for every time, so that's what they get. Miss Richardson said that there was concerns that I feed them snack food. I barely that's not the case at all. We do go get ice cream, but I think that children should be allowed to have ice cream a couple times a week. I don't think it's that big of a deal. They don't eat candy all day long. That's not a thing.
Were you involved in any mental health treatment as part of your probation?
Probation or parole?
Parole, sorry.
Parole. So I did classes when I was away. Afterwards, no. Like once I was released, no, I wasn't required to.
If the psychological evaluation came back and recommended that you participate in sort of mental health treatment or counseling, would you be open and willing to?
Of course.
Nothing further.
Any other questions for this witness from our attorneys?
No.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Just one. Mr. Carter, if you get the housing that you're currently waiting to hear more information on, is it your intent then to get custody of the children if that would be approved?
Yes.
Okay, I have nothing further. Thank you.
Ms. Berger, any questions?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, thank you for your testimony. Anyone else you'd like us to hear from, Mr. Howitt?
No, Your Honor.
Comments in closing, beginning with Ms. Thomas.
Thank you, Your Honor. I just wanted to let everyone know that we are joined today by Ms. Leticia Rodriguez-Phipps, and she will be the ongoing worker for the family, I believe, moving forward after today, from my understanding. I believe Mr. Rodriguez Phipps joins us from Monroe County and has worked with the family before. And so I just want to let everyone know that we can expect another DHS 69 coming through. Otherwise, Your Honor, I think that at this time, it's obvious for 2 of the children that custody order would probably be the most important piece, and to allow that family to move forward through a custody order. I know we might run into some issues with a guardianship for the oldest child, if that's going to be the caregiver, but I suspect we'll do what we have to do to work through those issues. Mr. Carter is also making progress, and it's good to hear that some of the concerns have been addressed. And I think with some ongoing monitoring and ensuring stability, that his children could likely be returned in the near future. As it relates to Ms. Witten, it seems that this review period is a little harder for her, and especially not being in treatment, not having a job, and kind of in between housing and trying to figure that out. So I hope that she continues to take advantage of the support that's offered by the caseworker and the community services. But I think that given the limited progress at this time, parenting time, as is most appropriate for her. And we can see some ongoing benefit and stability, just to ensure that we're not adding too much to anyone's plate and then looking at having to reduce it later on. I think that any concerns about holiday schedules or whatever can also be addressed in a family team meeting, and we don't need to use record time for that. And so with that, Your Honor, we would ask for a 90-day review with parenting time for the parents as previously ordered. Thank you.
Comments today, Ms. Stang?
We would be in agreement with the standard review period being scheduled, and my client obviously has made significant progress. He hopefully will have more information with regards to the housing piece after his meeting today with the landlord. And then if the department could assist him with first month's rent, as well as the security deposit, I think that would be very helpful for him as well. Other than that, we have no objections to anything else stated today.
Ms. Berger?
Thank you, Your Honor. My client, too, would not object to another review period. I know that he is working on getting those things together that he'll need to file for custody. He does have a blank packet with all of the pleadings that he'll need, so, or at least the caseworker does, and he has access to those. So I would just ask that the new caseworker continue to work with him on that, and hopefully they can get those filed as soon as possible. Otherwise, I know that he will do everything that he says that he will do, and monitoring the oldest child more closely with school and with counseling and things like that. So I'm hopeful that hopefully we can come to some resolution in this case sooner rather than later. Thank you.
Mr. Brown?
I believe it can be implied that my client understands where this case needs to go, her expectations, and what they want from her. Because my only concern is we have no children living in Lenawee County, no parents living in Lenawee County. We have now a new worker from Monroe County. I'm not sure why we're still here in Lenawee County if I believe it Ms. Rodriguez Phipps was introduced as being from Monroe County. Seems as though everything will be done through Wayne County. So I'm not sure why it would remain here in Lenawee County, quite frankly, Your Honor. That's my concern.
Mr. Howe?
Yes, Your Honor. I think starting with the twins, I think they're doing really well. Mr. Kamen has shown an initiative and an ability to take care of them and get them enrolled in some proper services in school. So I think that the custody agreement would adequately safeguard them. So I'll be looking for that. Mr. Kamen and I have talked pretty much at length about what I expect for him and what his plan is to assist with the oldest KW and her schooling and mental health. So I'll be looking for progress in that as we work towards a guardianship, which I think the department is proposing. I would be in support of, and that would just be a epic guardianship, not a juvenile guardianship. I came in here with some questions and needed clarification on how those visits went with the 2 middle children and their father, and I'm happy with what I heard. It sounds like I just missed an important family team meeting, so I apologize. But I would be looking for stability after he receives housing, and just showing, that he's able to maintain that housing. Because it's gonna be a big difference. He was renting a room to go into, now he's got a full house payment and job. And I think there's, some minor things that'll need to be worked out by him, like transportation, childcare, feeding them around the clock. Not that I'm saying that, feeding them on visits is a concern, but just, these more, habitual parenting practices that I think he'll need to, prove that he has stability and the capability for. I still would really like to see a psychological evaluation, and where he sits on that. And I know there's been some delays in that, some his fault, some not so much his fault as this last one was proven to be. So I'll be looking for that in this reporting period. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, the court finds all interested parties are given notice for purposes of today's review and permanency planning hearing. It would appear that the oldest child was perhaps not specifically addressed in our last permanency planning hearing. I'm addressing that today will establish our goal as guardianship. It's an epic guardianship with Mr. Kameen. He certainly has his work cut out for him if he's going to be looking at filing for guardianship as well as custody. And so we wish him the best of luck in working on those things in the future. But placement of that child as well as his other two children with him does remain the safest and least restrictive for those children under the circumstances, especially considering that he's done well and continues to be a stabilized environment for them. I wish you luck also with the challenges associated with parenting a teenager and getting her to school and into her services, but I know she appreciates being there, so hopefully those efforts will pay off in the next report period. As it relates to the other two children that are in foster care, that is also the safest and least restrictive under the circumstances. I would note, as it reflects both to Mr. Kamen and Mr. Carter, I'm well aware that you're under the supervision of two different courts right now. Mr. Carter for purposes of parole. There remain a lot of barriers there for Mr. Carter, beginning with housing, of course. We need to see that psychological evaluation. I know you had some services while you were away, as you put it, and some education classes, and you continue to do that diligently, which I appreciate. But please be aware that the court will be looking for you to really establish a stable, safe environment for these children, likely beyond the period of time that you're even supervised by way of parole, to ensure that that safety and stability is in place for your children long term. I don't want to have to go through this again, frankly. As it relates to Rebecca Whitten, I don't need to re-articulate all of the challenges that were outlined by the caseworker today, but it's certainly the case that there's a significant risk of harm in returning any of her children to her right now. She needs to tackle her housing, her substance abuse, stability, and frankly, just because you have a medical marijuana card doesn't mean that that's been that's copacetic with prescribed medications. Typically, in the cases that I've heard from treatment providers, use of THC complicates and can really be a large problem in combining that with drugs associated with treatment for mental health diagnoses we established in this case. So those are some concerns, and I appreciate that we're not seeing some of the positive drug tests that we did at the outset for some of the other perhaps maybe considered worse substances, to be kind of colloquial about it. But there's certainly a lot of issues out there still for her to overcome. So good luck in the next report period. The children will remain in their placements. That is the safest and least restrictive under the circumstances. We'll look at the case again in 3 months. It's in March. I would offer you the afternoon of Tuesday, March 3rd at 1:30. For your next review and permanency planning hearing.
Your Honor, I have a hearing in Monroe County already set for 1:30.
Well, I'm telling you can't go.
I don't think they'll like that answer.
All right. How about, let's see. I'll have to back it up to Tuesday, February 24th. I can give you 10 o'clock or, I'm sorry, 9:30 or 10:30.
I can do either.
Either of those work for me.
No problems.
All right, so let's set you up then at 9:30 on February 24th for your next review and permanency planning hearing.
Can I ask my client if she has preference, Your Honor, if mornings or afternoons, if she can do?
Sure.
Ms. Wooden, are you okay with mornings or afternoon? Is that date okay with you?
Either of them work for me.
Thank you, Your
Thank
Honor.
you.
Good. Okay, all right, good luck to you then, and we'll look at the case again February 24th for permanency and progress on case services at 9:30.
Your Honor,
Yes.
after we get off YouTube, can we have Ms. Phipps give out her contact information? It should be the same.
Yes.
Verify my client's address and email.